It's going.
This is the Political Spotlight.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's more like a political flop.
Nobody listens to Bilbrey.
He's just a wannabe podcaster. No one takes him seriously.
He is a rude, crude dude that will never go any further than broadcasting from his mother's basement.
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians.
Grab another box of Twinkies and generic cola, Bilbrey.
And get back to your microphone and your audience of nobodies.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. He is like a rude, crude dude that will never go
Bilbrey's a wrecking ball for Indiana. Shut that stupid Bilbrey up.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 655th, 655, I think, episode of the Political Spotlight. And we are not in the regular studio, as you can tell. I'm not by myself. I'm definitely with a couple of the biggest nobodies that I know. My guest in studio today, this evening, tonight, or whenever it is that you're watching this, is from left to right, Rachel Clark, and her daughter. What's your name? I don't know. Like, I wanted a nickname or something like to call you. I wish I should just had the guts to say what I was gonna tell you, but this is her daughter, Ryan. So we'll have to figure out. I can't say it live, but you would have a problem with it. You would definitely have a problem with it. So, hey, we are. Who's that? My dog. My dog is there. Oh, I think you're probably. Who's got tattoos up here?
Her.
How can you see them? How can you see the tattoos?
They're all hidden. I don't.
Alva immediately saw that you had a.
Who's the girl with the ink?
Yeah, and who's the doll with the ink?
I.
That's weird. I guess that he saw that right there on your finger.
On her hand.
On your hand. That's very strange. Well,
nice
that's amazing, Alva. Good eyes there, bro. Well, hey, we are here, and it sounds real echoey to me, which I have a problem with. But I know by testing this earlier that we don't have. It's the female Ryan. But I know that we're okay. So if we have a little bit, the ad picture. Yeah. That's right. That was all AI. She doesn't really have it. But okay. So if we have, now see, I need to tear that plastic off. That looks horrible. I didn't realize how bad that plastic is now.
Can we go do it?
Yeah, probably.
Hang on, everybody.
We're gonna do something mid beginning here. So it's a little bit weird because the camera is in a different spot from when I generally would have it. And we've got people here, which I've never had in studio guests. And so I probably won't do it ever again. No, it's been fine. We're going to work through the issues here. The sign needs to come a little lower. I can tell. I noticed that. I noticed it's way up high. But why does it look like that?
It's an AI TV.
That is really funky. Well, we'll try to deal with that. But okay, you guys can't see it. That's all that matters. So if it looked like that, we would definitely be having some kind of issue. So thank you. I appreciate that. That you don't have to worry about that. I don't think that's a big deal. It's like more like a Studio D or an F really right now. It's not really Studio B. That's too high of a quality. But no, the reason that we wanted to come together, the big day is 2 days from now. We've got 2 more wake ups. That's how I'd say it when I was little. We wake up tomorrow morning. That's Monday. You can go early vote, whichever county that you're in. We can go early vote tomorrow until noon. Some places it's 8 until noon. Some places it's 8:30 until noon. So you might have to check your local listings. But then Tuesday, May 5th, 2026 is the big day. So we were going to talk about candidates and our predictions and really how I always do this. I do this 2 ways, how I've done it ever since I've been broadcasting. I talk about who I want to win. First and foremost, I say who I want to win, going through the list. And then I come back and say who I think will win. And sometimes those are the same. And quite often those are different. So I am realistic. So we're going to do that. We're also going to be talking about the campaign through the process the last couple of months. And I'll be honest, there's obviously this election is a big focus in all the counties, but we've had a major focus in Henry County this season, just because of all of the things going on down there. These people are from Henry County. And so I thought we would bring them up here. We're also going to chat a little bit about Delaware County and make some quick predictions. I'll make some quick predictions about Winchester and Randolph County and Anderson, Madison County as well. And we'll go from there. So this was your idea. Why, Rachel, did you think that this was a good idea?
Because we spend so much time talking about Henry County, who we think each time after every forum, it'll change, everything moves.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the most uphill, downhill moments that I can remember in a long time in Henry County of, if you're truly watching, truly going to the forums, it is just up and down. It's been back and forth. And at the beginning, from where we started to where we're at now, my mind has changed 50 times on a lot of candidates. So I think that this is, if I'm feeling this way, I assume that a lot of people in Henry County are feeling this way. And so I think it's just fun to see if people are on the same page as us. I think it'll be fun.
And you're like well into your 20s now. You're not like young. You're into your 20s, right? Into your 20s, yeah.
Yes.
And so you've been involved and been doing things for a while, but you're fairly new to this. So what's your thought of how this season? I mean, this is the really big first season that you've actually got really involved.
Yeah.
From the beginning to this point. So what's your thoughts?
Well, when it first started, I had a completely different opinion than what I have now. My choice of who I was going to vote for when I started all of this and started going to the forums.
In various different races?
All of them.
That's interesting.
And so where I started versus where I'm at right now is completely flipped. Like, I was making comments about candidates that I was like, oh, I'll never vote for them. And now I'm picking them. They've impressed me over the span of all of this.
So I think to me, that's a good place to start out. So who do you think is the number one candidate that at the beginning you would not have voted for and now you are?
Tony Saunders.
That's the same thing for me too.
Yeah.
So what made that change for you?
The very first forum that I saw him do, it honestly rubbed me the wrong way. I just wasn't expecting the personality.
Okay.
Because I didn't know anything about him.
Okay.
I had never met him, hadn't heard anything about him. And then as I started watching the forums and started seeing him speak, and he did your show and all of that, I started to recognize that my first impression, I think, was incorrect. And he seemed like he really knew what he was talking about, and I liked the way he was. And so, intense personality aside, I thought that he did a pretty good job. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was really good for it.
So what's yours? I guess that's a good place to start. We'll just talk about the prosecutor's race. What's your thoughts about Tony Saunders?
I am in the exact same way. At the beginning of it, I was like, there's no way. And that's something that actually kind of brought to why I think this is a good idea. What we talked about, doing this show is, at the beginning of it, it was absolutely not. I was not a fan of him. And he is the one person of the prosecutor who came on your show. So, that's something that I think within the community that hurts a lot of people. And that's what we talked about, of whether people like it or not, or they like you or not. I will lay money, and we'll see it in the comments if people agree. He's the one person that came on the show. So of all of the people that saw it, they never got to see a forum to know what the other prosecutors, the candidates, were saying. And I think that Tony took a lot of votes away because we got to hear him. Now, all of us have been in other forums and got to see other things along with it. But him coming on was what really spurred my interest to start paying closer attention to him. So yeah, that's changed my mind.
Well, so
still I still have another one that I like.
Yeah, there's a couple I like, but
Okay, so that's interesting because the prosecutor's race in Henry County currently is like the sheriff's race. It's a big race. There are there are currently five or six candidates. There's Tony, Kyle Allen, Jeremy Bell,
And the two girls.
and the two women. Is that okay? That's it. So there's five. I thought it was six. So you've got Kyle Allen, who currently is a deputy prosecutor. He works in the prosecutor's office, but he's newer to the office from what I think it sounds like when I heard him speak last week.
December of
Oh,
last
so
year.
he's like way new.
I think, I don't know if it was 24, 25,
Okay.
but I think don't quote me, but I think it was very recent, less than 2 years.
Okay. So he's new, but he's getting some experience. Then you have Jeremy Bell, who is in the prosecutor's office and has been in the prosecutor's office for a while. Then you have Christy Brock, who used to be a deputy prosecutor, but she actually, I don't know if anyone knows this, she left the prosecutor's office. She was asked to leave. I don't know if she was actually fired or she was asked to leave and left, but she left on bad terms when Mahoney was hired because she was making some comments that Mahoney didn't like. And I think that she was just kind of too strong for him. Now, to me,
that makes me like her because Mahoney needs
Yeah.
to go.
right.
See, this is why it's uphill and down. I mean, it is a roller coaster.
I think she's too wild. Like both of the women put me off. I'm not somebody that has a problem with women in politics. Like I've grown up with strong women around the political scene. So I don't have a problem with women in politics. But there's going to be people that are going to not like me saying this, but it's like the quintessential like meme of a Karen. Both of these women to me come off as like, ugh, like they just rub me the wrong way. If I was a man on a jury that was sitting there listening to these people, I heard them speak, both of them, twice at that Knightstown event. Mm-hmm. And they rubbed me the wrong way from word one.
Now, see, I disagree on that one. I feel like that Kathy is definitely more of a steamroll, definite dominant personality, more just very alpha. So I can see that. But I feel like Christy is actually almost the other way. What do you think?
Really?
I kind of agree with you. I think
she's comes across sweet and very kind, kind smile.
I see her heart just be. This seems weird, but I feel like almost it's like she's too sweet. Like her heart's too big for everything, and I don't think she can be like mean and intense the way I think a prosecutor would be. Yes.
Okay.
Kathy, I can see she's intense. She's vicious,
like, I feel
in a good way. I mean,
right
she's
before
vicious.
she spoke, she just stuck a fork in like a light socket.
Yeah, she's
definitely.
She's
I
on
think
it.
In front of a jury would be like, whoa.
Yeah, that might be a bit much. And
but I think she's knowledgeable. You know what I mean? Like it's not the resume or anything like that. It is just, unfortunately, I mean, that's just my feelings. And
I think they're all very qualified.
Yeah,
very qualified. But the girls.
Yeah, that's one good thing. This, I would say, different from a lot of other races. I think that if any of the people are elected who are currently running for prosecutor in Madison County, if any of them win,
you mean Henry County?
What did I say?
Madison.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at a comment on there. In Henry County, if any of those candidates win, the county is going to be in a better position than it currently is.
100%.
So that's something I feel that's a good problem to have.
Yep. Kyle Allen, nicest guy, great speaker, very
he seems like a prosecutor.
Yes,
he does seem like a prosecutor.
And that's there's not I don't feel like a bad choice.
I'm not going to lose sleep at night over who's going to be I'm good regardless.
Yeah.
I have a favorite, but I'm really going to be okay either way.
That being said, I started out, matter of fact, and I know that very different from the sheriff's race, Kate. And I am going to talk about Madison County. We're going to talk about Culp and all of that. We are going to get there. But I wanted to say, I just wanted to tell the couple people that were in the comments that were saying that. But I did want to say that When this race back in January, before like everybody had even signed up, I was talking to Amy Bell, and I was talking about different attorneys, and we weren't even talking about prosecutor. We were just talking about attorneys. And I have to say that I've always liked Tony Saunders as a person, but I was kind of down on him at the beginning. I wanted him to win 4 years ago. I wanted him to win the race 4 years ago when he ran, but then he didn't. And then I've just kind of been down on him as a person. But he, like you guys, he has really flipped that around, and seeing him and talking to him during this race and having him come on the show and talking to him a little bit before that, and then seeing him at a couple places, he's really changed my mind. I like him. He's like the right amount of like smart ass.
Oh, the mic drop moments.
He's like real sassy. He's very well trained in that courtroom theater and that attorney kind of like the theatrics, and he's very good at that. And I think that he can turn on the pressure. I think that he's better than the two women came off to me. He seems better. And Kyle Allen, I think Kyle Allen is a nice person. I think he could rub people the wrong way. I think he's got that very prosecutorial type of, he just seems like a prosecutor. Jeremy Bell, I knew nothing about him. And I've said it on here. We had this very bizarre interaction at the bathroom where I was either stuck out and he was stuck in. It was very strange. We couldn't get in and out of the bathroom. But I liked what he had to say. And I heard, no. And it was after the bathroom. I like that he said, I don't know where he said this, but I have heard that he said he's never lost a jury trial.
But how many? Has he only had one?
No, he's been around for a long time. I mean, saying that, I mean, I don't know how long he's been around, but I would say he's practiced for 20 some years.
How many did he plead?
And I'm sure obviously any attorney's pleas are going to be higher than their trials, but to say I have never lost a jury trial is interesting. So as I said the other day, what I would like to see Saunders win the primary, and then the race is basically done unless the Henry County Democrats put somebody in July, which I don't see that happening. So this race is over on Tuesday. I would like to see Saunders win, and I hope that he keeps Bell and Allen in the office. That's what I would like to see.
And I would like to see Allen run later on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he is a strong candidate. It's just when you put him next to others, he's, like I said, he's got the personality. It's no doubt he's got the knowledge. It's just when you look at the other ones, you're like, just not yet. I mean, but once again, I don't think you do bad. And like Christy Brock, I was 100% for, and nobody was going to convince me otherwise. And then at the Knightstown Forum, I felt like it was a closing argument. It was very, even like pausing, you could tell it was a scheduled pause. And that rubbed me, and it's just my personal, but like that didn't do it for me. Whereas when Saunders speaks, we even joked, all of us was like, he needs a mic to drop after he gets done talking.
Yeah, right.
Because he will say something and then it's just like, mic drop.
It's like a difference of personality. She was very robotic, and he had personality in what he was doing. And also juries, I feel like a court case is not as much who's actually guilty and more so which one has the best attorney.
It shouldn't be, but that is what it is.
It's a lot of what it is.
It is a lot
so
of it. Yep.
Tony Saunders has a lot of personality, and
Mm-hmm.
Brock gave off very robotic, which I think could be an issue.
And when it comes to Saunders, this is my thing. He's either going to be the best prosecutor we've ever had or the worst prosecutor we've ever had.
There's no in between.
I mean,
there.
he's either going to nail it,
He won't be
going to F it up.
He won't be bad. He won't be bad. I don't see that. I just don't see that happening.
I think he's also the only one that gives off the vibe that he genuinely wants it. Like he really cares. He really wants it, and it's not just like a career move.
I can see. Yeah,
it matters to him.
I think that's true. I feel like that's how he's interacted.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I've been concerned that I've heard a couple people, 2 or 3 people say that last week he put out a post where he was talking about a mistrial, and he was talking about how that's a major issue. That's a major issue for the prosecutor's office, that it was lack of experience. It's wild to me. It's wild to me that it was the chief deputy prosecutor who was in that position. You know, that seems crazy to me, that your chief deputy has a lack of experience to make that mistake. But then a couple people messaged me. I had like at least 3 or 4 people that messaged me and said, I've got a problem with Tony being happy that he got a mistrial because it was on a child molest.
I got 2 messages on
and you know, that's not good. We need those people to go to prison. Yes, first and foremost, all prosecutors, burn them at the stake, do whatever you need to do to them. I'm fine. I'm not okay with that. That's a problem. I have more of a problem to the prosecutor's office, with the prosecutor's office, because of that than I do with Saunders. Because right, wrong, or indifferent, the thing that I'm on here and I talk about every night is our constitutional rights and our values and the things that we need. And it does not matter. The Ted Bundy, the worst child molester, you still have a right to a trial. You still have a right to a proper defense. And it doesn't mean that it's Saunders or any other attorney representing a child molester is no different than those cops. I have sat across the table as a police officer from a suspect who molested little kids and said, like, you know, I understand why you did that. You know, that girl, you get in their head and you buddy up with them. It's a role that you're playing. And at the end of the day, they're not there to get these people off. They're there to ensure that their rights are not violated. They're there to ensure that the trial goes according to the trial rules of the state of Indiana, and they're there to provide the best law possible. And that's the case. Then the person said, well, what happens if he wins? You know, he's not going to try hard to throw that person in prison. And I'll say, first of all, if he wins, what happened to you there? Sorry, I have a, you know, she's crippled, right? I have a crippled dog that you just threw off the couch. Yeah.
Fell right off.
Well, that was just,
That was hilarious.
I thought she rolled. Like,
Oh, sorry.
are you okay, Spot?
She's mad at us.
She's embarrassed.
Yeah, like, now she's embarrassed.
She's embarrassed.
Come here.
She's
Come
turning
here.
her back to the camera.
Come here. Come here.
She's
What are you
afraid of
doing?
Ryan. She thinks Ryan.
Like, I
Yeah,
did
she's
it.
like real mad at you. Yeah, that's weird. But no,
I'll be getting a phone call for dog abuse.
Yeah, right.
Where this is
yeah.
You knocked my drink over.
What are you doing?
She wants back
she
up here.
wants back out here.
Oh, you're gonna have to pick her up.
Everybody
you know how to
wants
do
Ryan to
that.
struggle.
Come here.
This is how weak she is.
She's only got 3 legs. Why can't you get her? Oh, yeah. Be good. Okay, well, no, but I don't have a problem with that. If he's elected, one of 2 things will happen. Either a deputy prosecutor will prosecute that case if they retry it, and they should decide to retry it, or it would go to a special prosecutor. So I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. Absolutely. I have no issues with that. So that's that. So that's the prosecutor's race in Henry County. Besides the prosecutor's race, you know, I would say again, I want Saunders to win in that race, and I think that he is capable of winning. I could see Kyle pulling it out.
I think Christy has it.
You think so? You think that Christy is going to win?
I think Christy has it. I think one of the girls will get it.
That'll be interesting.
I think a girl's gonna get it.
Christy Brock.
Mhm.
I always have to remember what it's the name, because Christy's Brock and Kathy is
Eeky.
Eeky. I like how I say it better, but yeah. Okay.
How do you
so
say it?
Eek.
Mm-hmm.
What's her last first name? Kathy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Kathy. Eek.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
but the girls are really well liked. So I think.
by who? Henry County.
The people that I talk to.
You have
Okay.
no friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey.
us, and we don't say.
You're
that.
right. I've never said it. Right. Well,
No.
I'll just sit here with the dog.
I think that's it. Like Tony has won me over. But I hear a lot, and I will say this, I wanted to say, just of how people vote. I was talking to someone the other day, and this is someone who is not involved in politics. I get so many phone calls about, well, who are you voting for? And I tell them, it's not about who I'm voting for. Like, what aligns with you? I honestly don't try to persuade people. And so this person said that they had seen Kathy, or Christy Brock at the one of the forums, and she said that Christy Brock was the only candidate besides Steve that smiled, acknowledged her, and she said she had such kind eyes. And she was like, I'm voting for her for the fact that we were in a room full of people and all of the candidates were hanging out together. There was one person, and I'm not tooting his horn because we're on his campaign, Steve went to every person, and that's just the way he is. And
yes.
Acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Christy Brock was the other one. She did not stick with the candidates. Afterwards, we all see it. They all run up, and hang out with each other. And, all of these people, including me, like, I'm there for Steve, but I'm also there to figure out my votes for everyone else.
Yeah.
And the candidates, very few will walk up and speak. BJ Zaffe did it because he came and found you.
BJ was
and walked up to speak.
Yeah.
And then I felt bad because I brushed him off because I was looking for, and completely went another way. But Christy Brock walked up, and I mean, she has won votes. I know at least a couple for her kindness, acknowledgement of people, etc. So
I will say I've been to every forum, and
Okay.
Christy has talked to people and like worked the room at
Yeah.
every single one. And then the rest of them, I'll just say maybe it was warming up to the situation, getting comfortable. By the end of it, they all got social. But for the first one, Chrissy was social out the gate, talking to everybody and really trying.
And see, for the prosecutor, for like me being at them, Tony has spoke to me,
Tony social, yes.
and Kyle Allen.
Mhm.
That's the only two that have spoken to me at all.
Well, that's my problem with those forums. First and foremost, it's candidates speaking to candidates or candidates speaking to candidates' families. People from the public aren't going to that. You'll get 4 or 5 people that go, to these things. The people who are really diehard involved. But, I talked to somebody that's watching here, and someone said that they live like 10 feet, a half a block down from the Knightstown building, and they were not aware that event was going on. And I think that's a really bad thing. That's the whole reason I do the god awful candidate interviews, because first off, that is it's a longer way to talk. The forums, you get candidates who are answering 2 or 3 questions. The questions might not even be best suited for that office, and they only get like a minute and a half or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, maybe at the most, to talk. So.
But let's be honest. That's why those forums are set up the way they are.
Absolutely.
Because candidates won't come.
Yeah.
I've heard a million of them say, well, what questions are they going to ask? They
Yeah.
want to know everything.
Yeah.
And that was another reason of us talking about doing this.
Yeah.
Because of 98% of the forum, when I walked out, didn't know anything more about a candidate. And that's what's sad. It's like I talk about the rehearsedness. That should not be what turns me off on a candidate. It should be something that they bring up and they're talking about that I disagree or agree with. And none of those forums allowed that. Knightstown let them go back a little bit, back and forth. I did learn probably more from that than the others, but 30 seconds to talk, I think, was one of the library.
Yeah. That's nuts.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And then the candidates who are well rehearsed, they have a way to avoid truly hitting on a topic or an issue. That's when they'll come, because they know that they're not going to be pinpointed. Then they're out of there as soon as it's over. They don't want people to pin them down and ask them.
Yeah.
So we're going to pin them down right now.
Right now. Yes. Let's get them on the
That's
phone.
right. Yep. Let's dial them up. Oh my gosh. Let's do that. Let's just call.
Yeah,
Let's
wouldn't
get
that be
Tony on the
great?
phone.
Yeah,
Call him and see if he'll answer.
Get Saunders on the phone. Barbara.
Yeah. Tony, if you're watching, call
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Just for those that might want to know, Ryan has a really bad case of scabies, and so she's got a scabies medication that she's taken. You'll see that every now and then. So, just wanted to make sure people were aware. Okay, so
I'm gonna give it to your dog.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got it now.
Yeah.
Look, she's not mad that you pushed her off the couch anymore. Okay,
She tried to bite me earlier.
Yeah, right. That's why you pushed her off.
Yeah. Get my lick.
So, okay, moving on from prosecutor.
Well, wait. So do we all decide on who we want and who we think is?
Yeah.
gonna
Who
get
do
it?
you think's gonna win?
I think it's going to be a toss up between Saunders and Kyle.
Really?
Yeah,
You think Saunders has like a real chance?
I think he does. I think the just
You're
his
just saying that because you want to be able to say it's because of your show.
no, yeah, no. I think it's because I think the name recognition. I think being around, and then I think I think that he has shot. I think it'll come down between him and Kyle.
Has he tried this before? Has he ran before?
Yeah.
Have you looked into how
What his numbers were?
Yeah, what
I
his
knew it
numbers
at
were?
one point. I don't know off the
I
top
don't
of
think
my
they
head
were
right
very
now.
high. I don't think
They
he
might
was-
not have been.
yeah.
I think he was like third place.
Out
Like
of
Mahoney, I think there were. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a very big push last time.
I mean, I want him to win. I just
Maybe if Kate's not too busy, she could look that up and let me know. I don't know.
See, I think it'll be
If you
between-
can't, that's fine.
I think it'll
What am I looking up?
be Tony's
Last year, 4 years ago, primary
Gotcha.
prosecutor in Henry County.
who do you think's gonna win?
I mean, I honestly, and this is just a guess, I think it's going to come down to Kyle Allen.
Mhm.
And I think that Christy and Tony will be right there side by side. I think it's going to be a toss up.
So out of the girls, you think that Christy's the
down.
okay?
Christy.
That's good.
And I truly will be happy. Like I said, there is not one bad candidate. I don't feel like listening to Jeremy Bell speak, there's not a bad one. I don't think that anybody, it's just anything's going to be better. This is horrible what we have right now.
Yes.
No, I think Kyle Allen or Christy, but I want Tony. But I like them.
Oh, I think. Did you have something there, Kate?
Yeah, so last time there were about 6,000 votes altogether. Mahoney had 59.92% and Saunders had 40% of the vote.
Oh.
It was about 1,000 vote, 1,200 vote.
So was it
difference.
just those two?
It's just those two.
Okay.
So that's a lot different than I expected it to be. I thought he was like lost.
Well, he did. He's
No, but,
second
like,
place.
Well, I know, but
If you're not
really,
first or
If you're
last.
not
I
first
know.
or last.
but I thought it was like a big difference.
Okay, so I mean, you see those numbers,
So he really does say it.
but I think this is
Yeah.
kind of like a sheriff's. They're all going to pull votes from each
That's-
other.
that's-
There's
that's the
so
problem.
many of them.
Well, and
Do they
I.
not have a meeting beforehand and be like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, that's
you
so
run
strange.
and I'll make
Yeah.
your number two.
Well, and I thank you, Kate, for that.
Yes, thank
I
you.
appreciate that. That was wonderful. I will say this, and I started to say this the other day, and I kind of talked about it, but I want to say this, and I want to say this specifically for some of the big races like prosecutor, sheriff, things like this. I sent invites out to all of the candidates, and I heard back specifically in the Henry County prosecutor's race. I heard back from Tony Saunders. I did not hear. There were candidates that did not return information. John Sproles was him. But then there were candidates that said, no, I'm not coming on, like Randy Howard. Randy Howard, say what you want to say about Randy Howard. He was man enough to say, no, I'm not coming on. And I respect that about him, that he could say that. There have been other people that could say, hey, I'm just not coming on, which, whether I like it or not, and there are reasons I don't like when they don't do that, but I can respect that. Just not responding. It leads me, one of two things. It makes me believe what?
Nothing. I was just pointing at something.
Oh, It makes me believe that they're not getting the communication. And I've got a real problem with that. If you are a candidate in 2026 and beyond, and you are not able to answer your email, if you have Facebook, if you're a candidate and you don't have at least Facebook, you shouldn't be a candidate. You have to have social media. It's not going to win the race, but it is a good substitute. You're going to meet the citizens where they are. So if you don't have social media and you or a team member is not responding to people, that's a problem. If you can't respond to text messages, to phone calls, or to emails, that's a problem. And if you're supposed to be this big bad attorney who's going to be the top cop of the county, everybody always says that, oh, it's the sheriff, it's the coroner. That's all nonsense. The highest law enforcement official of each county is the elected prosecutor. And if you're going to be this big bad badass and you can't send a quick message and say, hey, I'm busy, I'm not going to be able to do it, or no thank you, or I don't like you, and I don't like the way that you do things, or simply just a no thank you. If you cannot do that, I really have questions about you, and I have a big problem with that. And so that it puts negative marks on my book. And it's not like I'm big anybody or whatever. And, I know some of them went on Boss Hogs of Liberty or whatever. My opinion is you have to be out there trying to hit if you're a candidate, you should hit every person possible. It's not about me. I don't vote in Henry County, but I got a lot of viewers that do. And I think that's important. And I will say, Jeremy Bell did respond to me finally, and it was just too late. And I appreciate that he did. And he apologized. He apologized for he said that he meant to get back to me, and it just blew, it just whatever. And so I appreciate him doing that. It's still a problem. So that's where I am there.
We kind of talked, and I saw where someone asked Gayla, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Gayla.
Gayla.
I know that she's been to she's been very active, and someone had asked her thoughts on prosecutor. So I would love to see what she thought, because she's somebody who's paid a lot of attention. And,
I think she put out a video. I think she put out about
I saw
a video.
one on Jason, but it's not my algorithm for her to hit on everything of mine. So I kind of have to, if it's someone shared it or saw it, is how I see it.
Okay, so moving on. What about the other real big one before we get on to the other ones? What sheriff in Henry County?
We have to do it two ways.
Okay.
We have to do kind of what our thoughts were at the very beginning.
Okay.
Because I feel like this is one that has been have you been back and forth with it, or
me?
Yeah. I'm all over the place.
No, I've pretty much been the same position from the beginning. I haven't really faltered much on that. Yeah, pretty much none of them. I'll tell you, because we're just in the primary, so I have a different thought maybe for the general.
Me too.
But I'll tell you what my thought is, my weird thought. But so tell me what your thought was at the beginning. For sheriff. Now, real quick, for sheriff, we currently have the incumbent sheriff of Henry County, which everyone in the world knows is John Sproles. He is running for re-election. This would be his final term if he wins. Then we have 4 other Republican candidates that are running. So there's 5 Republicans and 2 Democrats. So you have Sproles, who's the incumbent. Then you have Jim Nicholson. You have Jason Williams. Jim Nicholson's a Newcastle police officer, former chief. He's currently captain on Newcastle. Jason Williams is a captain, although I heard here recently he's been busted back down to lieutenant. So I don't know if that's true or not. We'll have to find that out. But he's campaigning as a captain, so I'm not really sure. I called him a captain the other night, but somebody just told me here recently that he was busted down to lieutenant. So I don't know if that's true or not, what the deal is. So Sproles, Nicholson, Williams. Then you've got Craig Ring, who is not law enforcement, just a citizen of the county. And then you've got Randy Howard as comic relief. And so at the beginning of the race, where were you?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, right.
I was so frustrated because so many people ran, and it was and I'm just like, these people ran before. Did they not communicate? Truly of working together. The whole point, I believe, like a lot of it was to get Sproles out.
Yeah.
So I feel like that they did not do well. I was so frustrated there was so many candidates. So frustrated.
Yeah.
And then at the very beginning, I was hardcore Nicholson.
Okay.
On the principle, because I love Jason Williams. There's nothing I can say bad about him. There is, from his career to him as a person, but I didn't like who he picked and I like her as a chief, but I just feel like that you should never pick somebody before you get in a position to truly figure out. There may be other people who've never even spoke up that are interested, more qualified. I struggle with that, and some of the things that I've heard, and that's not like just of the frustrations with people with his number 2 pick. So I was, I'm going to have to vote for Nicholson. So Nicholson, I guess I can just cut that to Nicholson.
So that was your first pick at the beginning.
And I'm letting everybody know my why.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. And what was your deal?
I've been a Sproles fan from the beginning.
Of course.
Yeah.
He makes it so much fun.
Die hard.
Yes.
I like how vicious he is.
Absolutely.
No, I kind of
more beanbag.
Yeah.
Right.
Do
yes.
everything. Just in the streets.
Yes.
No, I kind of like her. I was a Nicholson fan in the beginning. I really was. I liked Williams in the beginning, but just for some reason I was pulled to Nicholson.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just like this. It's not like way one or the other.
Yeah.
It was just kind of that.
No, and also everyone I talked to in the very, very beginning was Team Nicholson. And so I was like, well, with me not knowing a lot about it and not really just entering all of this, everybody I'm speaking to must be right. It's got to be him. So that was my initial was Nicholson.
So where I was in the beginning of this deal was, and it was weird how they all went up. Yeah, right. It was really weird how they all filed. And it was like, okay, no one was filing for a minute, and it was like, what's happening here? It's like it's going to be Howard and Sproles. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's literally where you pray for the roof to cave in at that point. And so I was like, good Lord, someone's going to have to do something here. And then I think Nicholson filed. And then I was like, okay, thank God we have a normal person. There's a lot of people that have problems with Nicholson. There are the law enforcement. I'll be honest. On the law enforcement side of this, everyone that's running, there are people, everyone has, you as a cop, people are going to have problems with you. Jason's the only one that I've not heard people really say, well, he was around when this happened or that or this. Everybody else had issues. And there's people that have the problems with Nicholson, but Nicholson had a big fan base. And I was like, okay, he's going to be the one that can do it. And then Jason filed. And then you get like Ring filed. And you got, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna siphon off all the votes, and Sproul's going to run up the middle. So I was very frustrated with that. And I'll be honest, and I heard from a lot of people at the beginning of this that Jason was running as a Sproles ringer, that he had got him into the office or got him into the race to run to help him beat the others. And then Sproles made that comment about Jason and his parents and did a couple things. And I think that was just nonsense. I don't think that was true. And I like Jason as a person. I did the interview with him. I told him all of that. I did the interview with all of them except Sproles and Randy. And I like Nicholson. I like Williams. Nicholson to me is the old school cop. He's not like a good public speaker. He comes off real dry. Mm-hmm. The interview was difficult for me to get going. And I appreciate him coming on, but I was like, dude, be excited. You're running for office. Let's take a shot of adrenaline and get this shit going. Like, get excited.
It's
You know,
the
tell
passion.
people why you're gonna like kick these people in the teeth and take over and do all this stuff. So it just seemed like he was sleepy, you know, as a sleepy candidate, and so I had some issue with that. And I did have issue with Williams putting Brandy on the campaign material and saying like she's a candidate for the chief, and
she's not.
All that's not. You don't elect. No one's electing the second position. I think that people. I don't have a problem with people telling people who, you know, this is who my pick is. They're on my team. They're going to run. I don't have a problem with that. But I think that person at that point should be a campaign volunteer to be seen and not heard. They should not be out front. They should not be answering questions like what Josh is doing with Sproles. What Sproles is doing with Josh is very strange. All of that's very weird. I think that's very, very strange. I don't like that. And listen, I had Craig Ring on, and we've talked about this, and you and I have specifically talked about this. I like Craig Ring as a person. Like, I'd like to hang out with him. I asked Craig if he was running as like he really wanted to win, and I can respect that, or if he was running as a protest candidate, meaning he filed to say, we've got problems, and I'm going to shout from the rooftops, we have problems, and I'm going to come out, and if he would have been that, he would have been dogging Sproles these things harder than he did. So I knew it probably wasn't that, but I wish he would have been a protest candidate. I could have respected that. I could have respected I'm getting in here just to make you look like an idiot at every event that we go to and shout it from the rooftop. I could respect that. The problem I have with him is honestly just the lack of any kind of law enforcement. Like, you know, I think that you could do that back in the 1900s and you know, whatnot, the early 1900s. I think that that's something that happened. I think in today's world, it's just a very impossible thing to say, I'm going to run a sheriff's department. You maybe in a little town where you're, no, you're fine. Where you have like a 3 or 4 or 5-man department or something, maybe something like that could happen. Like, you know, that's more like back in the good old days. I think even Henry County, I know it's a small department. I think it's too big of a department for someone to run that has no experience whatsoever. I just think that's really hard. But I will tell you, there is a world in which I would want, or I could be okay with Craig winning. And that would be if Craig Ring won and Landon Dean was his chief deputy. Because then he could be solely administrative, and anybody could be administrative. I mean, anyone can go in there and to do the things and not say, listen, I'm not going to drive a police car. I'm not going to carry a gun. I'm not going out and arresting people. That's what the cops are for. I'm going to turn the budget in. I'm going to apply for grants. I'm going to get stuff for the department. I'm going to make sure you guys are not doing stupid shit. And then you're to go to your number chief for your law enforcement personnel needs. And I would.
Craig's on here, by the way. He just commented.
I would be fine with that. That would be something cool. And if Craig wins, he might consider something like that.
So here's not that you asked me.
I don't see where he's at.
We don't have law enforcement. We have law manipulation.
That is true.
In Henry County.
And listen, I appreciate that, and I can understand. And I'm not against Craig. Go ahead.
No, so I like you. I would love to. I think Craig and his wife. She is the cutest, sweetest little thing ever.
So
I just
adorable.
love her. Like, I just want to. I mean, I love her. But Craig, if obviously you are listening, please, regardless of this, I would love to see you running for a council position.
Yes.
He is made.
Yeah.
And there's another one. Guy Lauck's down in Knightstown.
Mhm.
I hope that he makes it down there, and I hope that he moves on up into Craig has a lot to offer. People like Guy have a lot to offer. These are the people and the change that we need in this county.
Yes.
So I hope that Craig listens, sees this, I mean, because realistically, I do think that he is at the bottom. You know, it's going to be a tough fight just because of the experience. But there are a million other important positions, not a million, but you know what I'm saying? There are a lot of other positions in this county that I feel like he could make a huge difference in.
He'd be a really big asset to the
Yes,
city.
Yes.
He is an asset to this
Absolutely.
county.
He's an
Yes,
asset to
yes,
the county.
yes. Yeah, he could run for council. He could run for commissioner.
Yes.
He could do things like that. I would have no problem with that. I think he would be in good positions.
And for
there.
someone who really to be in the sheriff and everything, he did a phenomenal job with the
Yes.
force. I mean,
Yeah.
out the gate,
Yeah,
he
he's
was
willing
so
to talk.
good at
Yeah,
it.
right. And he would say like, "Look, I don't know this. I'm not in this position."
Mhm.
Where instead you've got clown Howard out here saying like,
baton
the baton king, running around and doing all this chaos. It's just really crazy. And so I respect. That's people always said, why would you clown on Randy but not on Craig? And I've always said, well, number one, because anyone that's 18, lives in the area, doesn't have a felony, you're eligible to run. So he meets the qualifications that makes him eligible to run. If Randy would have came out and kept his mouth shut, I would have been like, that dude's an idiot. But I wouldn't have clowned him nearly as hard. It was when he gets out the ribbon dancer and does all that stuff that I'm like, okay, this is nuts. But I don't have a problem with Craig running, and he did a good job. And he was well-spoken for the position that he was in.
And it's given him great exposure.
Yeah,
so I
absolutely.
think he can easily step into a lot of positions, and I think it will just be, but he seems very firm in his beliefs.
Yeah.
So it's something that he didn't think that, no, a council is not for me. He's not that kind of, certain people who want in politics,
Sure.
they'll run for anything
Sure.
just to get in the door.
Yeah.
And I feel like that he is so firm in his beliefs that if he does not think a commissioner seat would be suited for him or a council seat, he's not going to do it just to get his foot in the door.
No, I'm fine. Take on Corey Criswell and go to the State House. I'm fine with that too. I would be perfectly fine with that. So anyway, I knew that you weren't going to like that.
No.
That's all right.
We can have different opinions.
Yeah, Corey knows I don't like him. He teamed up with JD. He went the wrong way. That's the problem. He's not. Corey Criswell's not looking out for the best of you guys. He's doing what the handlers tell him to do. That's the problem. Corey's wife and I talked about
All
that.
of them
Corey
like that at the
Criswell.
state level or
Yep.
higher.
Yep, and
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
the
like
problem.
that is, but you know what? I mean, let's be honest, like she said, that's all state level.
Yeah,
So-
that's the problem.
Corey is the perfect person to work his way up. He has the personality on a true state level. He fits in with exactly what goes on the higher up level. Like it or
All the
not.
problems.
But I mean, he is that person that will fit in and blend in with the higher ups.
Right.
Did he ever hold an
No.
office below state?
No.
Dang, he pulled off state? That's impressive.
No, it is. And he's smart.
He's smart. He's
I've not got that from him yet, but Corey, you're free to impress me, I guess, but I'm not there yet. He's just never.
Is your opinion easily changed though, right out the gate?
It can be, sure, but he's got to do something to change it. He's got to remove JD's head from his ass or his ass from JD's, well, something, and
He's saying
do
he's an
it.
ass kisser. That's what he
Yes,
said.
Kate said it. Kate's on it. Absolutely. Yeah, right. We'll see. Madison County's doing the same thing with the sheriff's race. It's really crazy. So, where have you went with the sheriff's race?
Okay. We need to talk about each candidate because like Craig, and then we got to talk about Sproles.
Okay.
So Sproles, I mean, I have been very, very vocal on Sproles.
Okay.
Very vocal.
Mhm.
But he's running a slick campaign. I mean, I got to give him credit
So much credit.
because he's hilarious.
Okay.
I mean, we've talked, he is funny.
He's funny.
And then too, like whatever, he slammed Nicholson, that was totally off.
Not okay.
And it wasn't okay. But on the campaign portion of it, he then did damage control like nobody I've seen. And he came and apologized. And then like the whole thing with the kids that are being adopted and he knew that he needed to do damage control and really be like charming. And like when he walked by us, That's it. Like, he is the most frustrating individual. I want to laugh because of his personality sometimes, but then like just was strangling for being such a D-bag.
So Kate and I talked about this the other day, that there are times and things that he does. Obviously, he's got some charisma for him to be where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
He's got charisma because he's been able to sell his brand of nonsense to certain people. Now, I think that's hard for him to keep going. I think it's not easy for him to keep that level of charisma up. I think that's the problem. And so I think that's why we're in the position we're in. But he has moments where he could shine through. And if he could be that person and not do all of the insanity, he would be a good person. He would be a good candidate.
So,
but go
what
ahead.
I love about him is I have worked in public safety for a very long time. And the one thing that you want is a chief or a sheriff who backs you. He backs his guys.
He does.
He does.
And I respect that. But then I think what has happened is it's almost like a Munchausen by proxy, that he's kind of like, hey guys, it's us against them.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
The community
Wait a
is
minute.
turned against Sproles.
I don't think you use that term right, but I know what you're talking about.
Or it's them against us.
Munchausen by
Munchausen by
proxy
proxy,
is
yeah,
like
sorry.
if you were poisoning her.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
And look, he might. I don't know if he's doing that or
He
not.
could be
Watch out,
poisoning
kids.
them. He could be making
right.
them sick, and they'd be like, "Daddy's bringing you back."
Yeah.
So he's doing it.
What?
That's what he's doing to
That's what
Guffey.
he's doing to Guffey.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
But I mean, like, I respect this. Like, you can do good things and you can do bad things, and you can do both. I mean, people think that it has to be one way or the other. He has rallied his guys. They respect him. He stands up for him, and I respect that portion. But I think that he has kind of convinced the guys of, hey, the whole community's against us. I'm going to stick up. I'm going to stand for you guys when nobody else is. Like, everybody's against you guys.
You know about Stockholm syndrome?
That's what I think.
There we
yeah,
go.
That's what it is. Yeah. Yes. I will tell you, because I talk, and I say this frequently, I don't ever out who, but I've talked to people in the sheriff's department, and I think he might be a little out of it, because I think when he goes on there and says, oh, my guys love me, they think I'm wonderful, they want to work here, they are probably telling him that, because who's not going to tell your boss that?
Look at him and go, dude, I think.
Yeah, you're horrible. I believe Bilbrey. He's right. You're not going to tell your boss that. When they're talking to other people, and when they talk to me, look, if they believe him or they like him, they probably wouldn't be talking to me. So the fact that they're calling me and I'm hearing from them and talking to them or texting and messaging, I think that tells a lot. And so that lets me believe them, because they could be lying to me. But in that case, why would they be doing that? What's the point? Just don't talk to me and be pro Sproles. Here's the thing that I have a problem with. First of all, and I just put up a post the other day. He ran endorsements here recently in the last week of his brother. Okay, whose brother is not going to say, hey, this guy's a good, wonderful dude. That's nuts. Well, that's
yours would be against you.
Right. So the brother thing, like that, don't take that as an endorsement. And then he takes his number 2 guy and his number 3 guy, and he says, okay, these are my endorsements. I know for a fact that, first off, when he ran 4 years ago, he was having governor candidates and
I remember that.
The governor's people and people from the state, people from national that was endorsing him. All those people are silent. Braun's not out here endorsing him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting all this stuff from Micah, and all these people aren't saying anything about him. They're away from him. So that's dried up. People know that he's, the odd man out. I also know for a fact that he has been reaching out to business leaders and other people in law enforcement and saying, hey, will you do an endorsement for me? And there have been people who have flat out told him, nope, no, thank you. And then there have been people who've just ghosted him. And so I know that's making him mad. I know that he's mad about that. And I'm talking about, there's people that's like high ranking people that he's not he seems more like a toxic partner than charismatic.
That's
the
why
thing.
I connect with him.
Yes.
That's
Yes, right. Yes. He
It all makes sense, Mary.
Yeah.
You just
Well,
you nailed
And
it.
could be
I'd
your
like to point out that the endorsement started like
Yeah.
at the beginning of his campaign last time.
yes. Yes.
I mean,
That's right.
he hit the ground and was putting out endorsements from anybody and everybody, and they were high up in state level stuff.
Yes.
So the fact that he's this time, like 3 days before the election, putting out, my brother loves me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. That's absolutely right, Kate.
And Craig's right on too.
yeah,
Every one of
right.
them stands to lose something if not elected.
That's the
Yeah.
problem. Absolutely. And people say, well, what does his brother? I tell you what, his brother and like his sister, their whole identity is wrapped up in this situation with their brother. And like, look, I have no problem with family sticking together. That's great. I love it. That's right.
You know who didn't stick together?
But who?
Did you see who was in Backover's picture today?
Who? Oh, that's big. Can I say that? We're permitted to say that? How do you know that? Are you going to type it to me? Go ahead. Who was in Backover saying?
Randy Howard's brother.
Oh God, I knew that. I mean, I knew that their family was not supportive of him.
So, but let's talk. Let's get back on this coverage of Sproles. So, we always say that signs don't win elections, and there is a very prominent business owner in Newcastle that I have known my entire life. And at the Lincoln dinner, I thought I'll say, ask him, dude, why do you have a Sproles sign? And he said, he just, I let him drop it in. I don't know that I'm gonna vote for him.
He said, I don't care.
He don't care. He's like, anybody can put a sign in my yard. I don't care who puts a sign in my yard. If you want to bring one, anybody can bring one. I don't care. I don't know who I'm voting for. So I think that a lot of times too, if the sheriff comes and says, you know what, honestly, if Sproles came to me and said, can I put a sign in your yard and I've got a high traffic road, I'm like, if it makes nice where he doesn't go after me in the future, I'd probably let him put one. Because everybody knows I don't support him, but if he wants to put a sign in my yard, more power to him. So John, you can if you're watching, come put a sign in my yard. You can keep it there till Tuesday.
You can rent out a space in my yard and put a sign there. You can rent out a space. When you were talking though about his guys like him a lot, I feel like there's really two important factors of your team needs to like you and the guys need to like you, and you need to be supportive of them, but you're also protect and serve. And so he may be good for the team, but he's a danger to the public. So you need someone who's going to have a good balance of both. And he's cool, great, whatever, good at one, but he's a danger to the other.
He also needs to be able to discipline his guys.
Why are you talking? We told you could come. We didn't.
You're supposed to be holding the dog.
I'll go back to that.
No, that's great. But that's right. I thought you were. He also needs to be able to discipline these guys.
Yeah.
And to me, I think it's very dangerous when on April 18th, we have a pursuit where a deputy who hasn't been trained is in a pursuit and someone dies. And 6 hours later, Sproles is coming out saying, I back him. He did great. We should have killed 5 more people. I think he should have said, I'm going to, I hope my officer did right. I need to look at the facts, and we're going to wait to hear what the investigation says. Because if that investigation had come out wrongly, then he's got to backtrack this. And that's been my whole fear, because I knew that there were a lot of people who left when Sproles got first elected.
Yes,
and that tells a lot. That tells a lot too.
I would like to know that number.
And then I'll have to look at that. Yeah.
High.
Well, so then that means that you're getting a lot of new deputies. And that's also been concerning, because that means they're coming on and they're being trained under, he keeps talking about this culture he's creating. And it's wonderful that they're not saying,
like the church. It's a cult.
It seems like a cult. Yeah. It seems like his that thing that he goes to, it's very crazy. Who knows?
I will never drink the Kool-Aid if Sproles offers it to me.
Yeah. You've got to be very careful with that, because that dude seems way out of it. But I will tell you this. Sproles, to me, we put out a lot of information here lately where he's lying about the numbers. He's lying about the lawsuits. The endorsements are weird. And there's just all these things that like any one of these things should be big enough. Like he's flat out lying.
He's a walking red flag.
And yeah. And that's a big issue. And these officers who are coming up under him in this culture where they're not running around cussing, that's wonderful. But if they're being too violent, if they're doing, things that are wrong, that is a major issue. And if he's not willing to discipline them, then that is a problem. Because in today's world, we need leadership in police departments to be willing to yank them back into line and say, you're gone too far.
I would rather a police officer cuss me out than kill me. So that's my preference.
Right.
there.
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. Or hurt you in some way. Or
Harm me in some nature physically.
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
Rather my feelings get
When
hurt.
it comes to hearing him talk about the lawsuits, he's supposed to be educated, I feel like, somewhat in the law. And I don't understand how he can explain what he explains and justify what he justifies, and how in his mind, he's like, well, we should be self-insured. John, where'd you get your insurance certificate? Where do you think that is a good idea?
Yeah.
You're not, now, a lot of second-class cities will do that.
Sure.
But they still have insurance. It's just a much higher.
Sure.
But why on earth did his thought process? I really don't feel like, even if in his mind he truly believes that there was no negligence on the Golly case.
Yeah.
I don't see him going home and really just like weeping. If I were in his spot, a life is a life.
Yeah.
And I don't care if our department was guilty or not, or, did anything wrong. I won't say guilty, but you know what I mean? Like did something wrong. I would play that over in my head 100 times and make sure that never happened again. And that's where I feel like his disconnect is that he does not look at it of, man, I never want that to happen again. It's just like, nope, we didn't do that. That's not us. So well,
yeah, right.
Business as usual.
No. Specifically,
regardless, someone died.
Specifically, one of his biggest, I guess, I would consider her a politico. She speaks for him. She's all over social media. His sister is just saying, like, look, he was a junkie. Nicholas Scully was a junkie. What did it, he got what he deserved. That's what they're saying to people on social media as recently as this weekend.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's really crazy. Now, I do have some big breaking news, which is, isn't this amazing?
Dun, dun, dun.
His sister.
Don't wake her up.
She was snoring, I'm sure, right in the mic.
We can push her away if you want, or send her upstairs if you don't like her.
Go back to what you're doing.
Is that his sister is going to be named in I want to make sure I'm saying this right because I don't want to say the wrong thing. His sister is going to be is going to be a defendant in a slander suit because of comments that she has made just in the last several hours. It's really interesting to me that they keep for whatever reason going after Mark Nicholson again. Today, just a couple of hours before the show, Connie referred to him as my attorney. Mark Nicholson has not represented me in a case. I don't know why they assume this, but they are tying him. They're tying Mark Nicholson to like criminal sexual deviancy.
Wait, she commented. She responded to something that I posted.
Yeah. With
a picture of Mark.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And is talking about. So it all started with 3 weeks ago. I had been at my grandparents' house and I left my grandparents. I was starving and I went to Olive Garden. And when I was in Olive Garden, a local person here in Muncie, Delaware County had came in. I was talking to them. And then right after that, this woman with dark hair, young woman, came in and instantly was like, oh my God, that's him. and like started like talking about me, like, and I get a lot of people to come up and talk to me because of the show, but I knew that she was talking in a way that was like not like favorable. Like it seems like they had just been talking about me in the car, and then like, oh my God, we ran into him at Olive Garden.
There he is.
And I turned around and I looked, and she took a picture of me, and I knew she took a picture of me, which that's so weird. And so I'm just standing here, and she's like taking pictures, and she kept walking by where I was eating. Like she walked by. So it was very, very creepy. And I knew something would come of this. Well, a couple of hours before the show, Connie Bilbrey said, or Connie Bilbrey, Jesus.
Oh, you just wished
that was the big news. Yeah, right.
You wished it into existence.
Yeah, right. No, listen to this, Mark Nicholson. I'll tell you, this is great. Connie Richwine says, Bilbrey be getting those bands. Like, what? Who are you, dude? What? You're like a 48-year-old white woman from Anderson. Bilbrey be getting those bands out and about at the Olive Garden to get that much needed meal after running his mouth all day. If you ran your mouth, if you ran like your mouth, you'd be much thinner. Okay. And I'm like, okay, great. Like we got the jokes. Okay. So this is good. And so I reached back and said, I knew that creepy dark-haired woman was taking pictures and being skeezy. You guys are creepy AF. You bunch of freaks. Tell her to come up to me next time, and I'll sign her flat forehead. And I can sign it to her from Bilbrey, or I can sign it to you, Cersei Richwine, #Tower Times. And I'll keep that there. But are you a Game of Thrones fan?
No idea what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. Anyways, we'll go on. And then in that same post, she posted, did you get, let's see here. What did she say? When she said the thing about Mark, she said, why am I not surprised this kink-aware professional is your attorney? And she posted this picture of Mark. I don't even understand. I don't know. I don't know if it's a real picture. I don't know if she made the picture. I have no clue what she's referring to there. I don't know. I don't know why. And it seems she seems so overly obsessed with people's private sexual lives. It's so weird to me.
What is a kink-aware attorney?
I guess he's like, I don't know. Maybe he approves he's like, okay, you're adults and do what you want to do in your bed and do in your house behind closed doors. I don't care what you do. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I have no clue. It doesn't sound illegal. So As long as it's not illegal, I don't know why it's a problem.
Yeah, like why the attorney would be necessary.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. I mean, Sproles did say he didn't care how many lawsuits come.
Let's just say she should have taken her brother's advice
and shut up
off Facebook.
Yeah, right.
Because when she said something to me, I was like, I thought your brother told you to stay off Facebook.
Yeah, right. That's you said that to her just the other day.
I gave
you warned her.
And she didn't listen apparently.
Yeah, dude, she files back. She says, you're the one that had a pedophile on your podcast. I was just trying to help you out. Did you get so excited about getting a few bucks from Henry County that you ate up all the calories for the next 3 years? Must be out of cash now. Out of cash now. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yes, I get it. Like, haha, I get it. But it's so weird, man. These people are so strange. So that is coming. It's coming her way, and we're exciting. So
she was definitely trying to insinuate. Well, remember whenever I commented, we were talking about it, where she was trying to loop me in and say, well, you must be, Bilbrey, the way that you think like Bilbrey. It's like that's a demon thing for anybody to be associated with you.
Yeah, well, that's definitely true. Yeah, this is what. So I don't know if this is a thing, but this is. Oh, had you seen this? This is what she posted.
He should just put that on his page.
He did?
No, he
should. Yeah, right. I'm like, okay, yeah, right. Doesn't I mean
doing free work for him.
I don't. Yeah, right. Like, wow, thank you for making something for me.
Yeah. Oh, wait, she works in the public.
Yeah,
said she works in the public.
She does. She's a nurse in Anderson.
Oh.
Wild to me that she's not got in trouble. Oh, okay. Oh, it's
Right.
real. And I represent people who are being discriminated against because of their adult consenting legal preferences. I support the rights of the LGBTQ community. Straight, hey, I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I don't have no problem with me. As long as it's legal and not a crime, have at it. And I don't understand why she would be commenting on that. How does that help? I was just talking to Brandon and Kate about this last night. I support a lot of different candidates, and I can say I like this candidate because they do X, Y, and Z. I don't like this candidate because of X, Y, and Z. And you are free to come on and say, Bilbrey, you're a liar because my candidate does do X, Y, and Z. Or, you know, this is wrong or this is right. But for these people, like, it's like we need to come up with a name for them. Like Mike Jones, basically all the nanatics, that Lindsay girl, all these like adjacent, Shireen, all of these like politico adjacent people that they don't talk about the politics. They bash the people with differing opinions.
Who was the one back in the day? Paula
Shockley.
Mm-hmm. And I think now she doesn't like Nanify. Am I right?
I think she does.
She's good, but that's it. You couldn't reason with her.
Yeah.
This is just the way it is. And there was no conversations or no reasoning or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like they went as far as like they took a screenshot that someone else made, and then they took a screenshot of a post I made and then overlaid the top of my post over someone else's comment to make it look like I had made the comment. And then they posted that. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. First of all, I was able to prove what they had done. But second of all, like, what are you accomplishing here? You're not speaking for the candidate anymore. And that's what Connie and a lot of Sproles people do. You know, a lot of Sproles people have done. So it's very, very strange.
Well, I've said it 100 times. They are like, Sproles is like the Henry County version of Trump. Just a loose cannon. You never know. It may have the right principles where everybody supported at the beginning, and then it's like, whoa, this is not at all what we signed up for.
Yeah, it gets real crazy.
Off course real quick. So
okay, so moving on from Sproles, I knew that would be forever.
Yeah.
Then next.
So Williams.
Okay.
You know, when I first saw him publicly,
and somebody posted and said he is a captain. I'm fine with that. I don't know if he's a cat. Look, that's what a sign says. I'm just telling you, someone said last night that he got busted down to lieutenant. I don't know what the deal is with that. He told me he was a captain the other day. That's what I'm going off of. I don't have a dog in that fight. I don't care what rank he is.
I thought that he was a captain, but had been moved over somewhere or something that put him reporting to someone who was of equal to him.
Yeah, that's really strange.
But that also I don't know.
No,
why would that have happened?
Just because they called, they went to the council and asked for these extra positions, and they apparently didn't get them, and so it's just moving people around. It's very weird.
Is that or is because people ran against him?
That's a very good possibility too.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Was William moved because of a reason that was?
And we don't know that he was moved. Like all of this is speculated. You know, I can't say one way or the other. But we're just blowing out of grass.
We're just
at the very beginning, though, Jason, horrible speaker. I mean, it was painful. I was like, ugh. He was almost equal to Nicholson, but Nicholson is a bad public speaker.
I'd rather pull my teeth out than listen to that.
Yeah. But then Jason got fired up and he speaks with passion now, you know, and like I enjoy watching him and I enjoy listening to him. There's a couple things that he bobbles and I'm like, I wish you know, like, I don't like hearing that. But overall, he has grown he's one of them that at the very beginning, I was like, God dang it. You know, Jason, you're going to lose votes just because you're not able to get out there what you really have in your mind and in your heart. And he has been killing it lately. So I am struggling on supporting Jason because I will say that I heard Nicholson was going to have his number 2. I cannot support more. And so for
the record, I have heard that from other people. I had heard it from you, but after I'd heard it from other people. So it's out there that people are saying this. And I've tried to get this to Nicholson. Not Mark. We're now talking about Jim Nicholson, the running for sheriff. I have tried to get this to him and say, look, if you're not going to put this Goodwin or Godwin or whatever, what's his name? Goodwin. If you're not going to put this guy in as number 2, come out and say you're not going to put this guy in as number 2. Because there's people out here saying, my perception is that he's going to do this, so I'm not voting for him because of that. So if he does not have the intentions to put him in, he needs to come out and say, oh, no, I'm not putting him in. So people go, okay, I'll vote for you.
And that is so, but that's it. Like I messaged Nicholson immediately and was like, hey, is this true? This is what I've heard. And he said, you know what? Haven't even thought about it. Haven't even anything, whatever. I let it be. I know a lot of other people still talk about it, but I was like, whatever. Now I will say that since I asked him, Nicholson has definitely been much colder to me.
And me.
Yeah, at events. Now that may just be something off, or not the case, but it definitely seems like since I asked that question, it rubs something the wrong way of almost like, I don't want that out there.
I will say that his big campaign, I guess, campaign chair, campaign helper, Ronnie Williams here has said Jim Nicholson has not talked to Jim Goodwin about second in command.
But that's not answering the question.
It's not answering the question.
No, I know, and that's the
Ronnie
thing I'm
does
thinking.
do a lot of talking for Nicholson.
Yeah.
So Ronnie, can you answer? Is he or is he not? Would he? Let's ask this.
Yeah.
Would he consider Jim Goodwin for his number 2?
I think the answer has to be
no. Or
I'm not going to put Jim Nicholson. I'm not going to put Goodwin in as my number 2, or. Well, I haven't thought about it, but he's in the pot with everybody else. So it's either an either or. It's either no, he will not be.
Who that pot is. I would like to know who's in that pot of contenders. Because in that pot, is there only Jim?
But see, you don't get it both ways. You can't say that you don't like that Jason.
No, I'm not saying pick it.
Yeah.
But
okay.
You always think those things.
Yeah.
But if he says, well, it's with the other contenders, well, how many are there? Because is that contender only Jim? There's easy ways to deflect this.
Sure.
And that's it. I feel like Nicholson is deflecting because he knows that a lot of people will turn their nose at him if he puts Jim in.
Amy said, my question would be, who put the information out initially? Was it another Sproles scheme because he's scared? Was this something that... See, I don't know that Sproles would know...
I was going to say, would Sproles
know who Goodwin is?
So the people that told me, I've heard it from a lot of people, but honestly, I've pretty much pushed it to the back because whenever Jim kind of flies, like, well, we'll see. But it's been a lot of people within like city police or who've known how close they are, that he was his running mate. They are thick as thieves, apparently. I didn't know that. I did not know. And, Jim,
you're saying you're hearing that from people.
Of city police officers
okay.
and a lot of people who have known Jim for a long time. And that's just the thing with me. Like, I don't like wishy-washy. If you tell me that, then I just have to decide, well, which one do I not like as a number 2 more?
Yeah.
Which way does it go?
Yeah.
I was a Nicholson fan at the beginning. I'm fully in support of Williams because even knowing that Nicholson is thick as thieves with Goodwin, will not support him in any capacity because that just shows the type of person you are, and I won't support.
Okay.
that.
And so you're now a Jason Williams fan.
Yes.
Okay.
And see, I'm struggling because I am a Williams fan.
Mm-hmm.
But then the ultimate goal is not Sproles.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
So it is like, do I vote? Who's
going to win?
This is ultimately my fear. This is ultimately my fear.
To come down to, at the end of the day, Landon Bean.
Yeah, because Williams is my person, but does that mean, is that who I vote for strategically?
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna say it, Williams is my preference point because no to Nicholson, but
and I say no Sproles, no Randy. So literally,
I'd rather
Nicholson
Craig
Williams
Nicholson.
ring, I'm fine with either one of those, any of those people over those other two people.
Yeah.
Randy doesn't have a shot. I have no problem there. But my fear is that you're going to have Nicholson and Williams eking real close up there, and Sproles is going to come in and go, yeah, gotcha. And it's going to be.
That's what
the
I think will
problem.
happen because we pulled it. It was what 100 votes different between Williams and
Yeah, so I pulled the
Nicholson?
numbers, and don't quote me because I don't know how accurate I am, but 2024 primary for Republicans, I think there was 6,900 Republican voters. And of those, I think Sproles pulled 2,200. Next up was Jay Davis, who pulled, what was it?
1,200 or
I have the exact numbers if you want them.
Yeah,
Yeah, please,
Yes.
thank you. I want to see how close I was.
So Sproles had 2898, 47% of the vote. Jay Davis was next with 23% of the vote with 1,479. Then Jason Williams with 900 votes. And Jim Nicholson with 887.
within 100. That's what it was literally.
It was 13
That-
vote difference between Davis and Williams, or Nicholson and Williams, sorry.
So it's strange to me that Jim got so low last time and that he has went to being, the favorite, if that's what people are saying.
Yeah.
Like, what happened there? Is it just, has those the people that have said Sproles is a loser, Sproles is nuts, he's out of control, and now I'm going with Nicholson? That's just real strange that Nicholson's went from bottom of the pile
Jason's
to
went up too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. They both, that blowout that Sproles had the first time, the majority of those people have now equally split
Yeah.
it between Nicholson and Williams. And that's where I'm afraid Sproles is going to walk it
Yeah,
right
we're going
back
to do
in.
it again. We're going to split between
Oh, I'm gonna
It's
tell you
gonna
what's
be
gonna
second
happen.
verse, same as the first.
yeah.
Here we are.
And I'm telling you, he hasn't mentioned anyone for any position to me. From day one, he decided that he will not decide his staff until after the primary, because if he doesn't win the primary, it doesn't matter. Well,
Still not
I
answering.
get that.
It's
That's
not-
still not an answer. And so I'm going to try to say this to where it makes sense. I'm just telling you, it does not matter what I believe. It does not matter what either one of them believe. If there are people out there saying, I am afraid that Nicholson could never have said anything to anybody. But if people believe, oh my God, look at her. Did she just fall down? She's sleeping.
No,
on
no,
me?
I
She
put her
sat
down.
and she literally just flopped
Flopped
over
sideways.
with their feet up in
Jesus.
the air. They're
Sorry,
still up
sorry.
in the air.
Yeah, no, that's how she always does. It's so weird.
And snorting.
Anyway, so sorry.
No, you're fine. This is why you don't do guests. No, I'm kidding. It's mostly the dog's fault.
It's a dog's fault.
If there are people out there that believe that, it doesn't matter what he says. The only thing that you can do to combat it is to say, look, it don't matter. I haven't talked to anybody about it. People say, yeah, right. But the question is, if you win, are you going to put him in place?
Yeah.
If you win, we'll say, I haven't talked to anybody. Okay. If you win, are you going to put him in place?
There's
And
no way
the
he
answer
hasn't
is
thought about it.
yes or no. And there's no way at this point he's not thought about it because he's been asked by people.
So, and this is the way I look at it. If the answer is not no,
Then the answer is yes.
that yes would be considered. I mean,
Then
there's
the
only
answer
two
has to be
options,
yeah. Yes.
And people need to definitely take that into consideration.
Yes. Yes. That's why we have to get out and vote, y'all. Those numbers are low and sad, and we have to do is show up and vote no Sproles. And I will tell you, the thing is, here's the thing. If I appreciate that, Ronnie, and if you can get
Can
an
you call me
answer,
now?
yeah, like what? Like, yeah, like,
Get a hold of him
yeah,
now.
yeah, like just, yeah, let me know. As
It's
soon
a
as possible.
sauna down here.
I see, right?
I'm a little chilly. I don't know
Yeah,
what
right.
you guys are talking about.
I
I'm
actually
sitting
am
here
too.
cold.
I will tell you this though. If the worst case happens and Sproles wins, I don't
Gayla, you were
care.
Dead on. Sorry.
I
Love
like,
it.
yeah, that
Yes.
I agree.
We are all on the same page.
Yes. If Sproles wins Tuesday, I don't care. I'm going to be real honest. I don't care about cool feet party pictures. I don't care about gay strip clubs. I don't care about humping a truck. I don't care about none of that. If Sproles wins, everybody in Newcastle and Henry County must elect Landon Dean, who will beat Bockover. That's just the bottom line.
You think so?
He will beat Bockover. There's no question. And that's just, and then you know what? If Landon goes in and sucks it up, he's not going to be worse than Sproles. He's not going to be worse than Sproles.
Till we all three had the same idea separately.
Yeah.
About what?
If Landon gets it, who should be his number 2? If Sproles and Landon make it to the primary and Landon wins, who should be Landon's number 2?
Who?
Jason Williams.
Oh yeah. Okay, I didn't know I told you that, but yeah. I think that I would be fine. I think that needs to happen, and then that would set Jason Williams up for running.
Yep.
If Landon doesn't want to do a 2-termer, because he's going to.
He's kind of said he's got, he wants.
If he
4
doesn't
years,
want to
he's
do a
out.
2-termer, whatever, then that would set him up. Or if he does do it, I think Landon's going to get beat.
I think Bockover's bringing in people who wouldn't normally vote that are voting right now because of Bockover.
I don't think it's going to be that many
And
people.
let's just go to Bockover. Let's start talking about him.
All right.
The worst public speaking.
Oh,
It
hurts me.
If you're going to run for office,
Yeah.
learn how to speak publicly.
Maybe just be like, hey, am I speaking loud enough? Hey, am I speaking loud enough?
Or if you are, speak to the people in the crowd.
And
Yeah.
not Travis.
Yes.
He was, all of us were here,
And Lamar.
and he
Or
turned
wasn't
his
it
body and answered all questions
Yeah.
to Travis. And
Yes.
we are your voters.
Yeah.
Like, what
so
on earth?
weird.
He is definitely a low talker.
And
Yeah.
something else that and I've said it, we've all said it, and I think Ryan found out kind of a reason or a conclusion, but
I did, yes.
it is, we noticed not that it was a bad thing, but the majority of people supporting him have a criminal history. Now, and it's not like that it's 50-50. It was 90-10 of criminal history and some very serious criminals and some very
Which there's nothing wrong with someone with a criminal background supporting a politician, and I kind of love that they're getting so involved in
Love it.
politics, and I love it.
First and foremost, everybody can vote, even with a felony.
Yes.
So felons can vote. Get
Yes.
out and vote. If you have a felony, get out and vote.
And I
There's
think the
nothing wrong with that.
misconception is they don't think they can. They
There's a lot of
absolutely
people-
can.
Yeah, there's a lot of people think that it's amazing. I shock people all the time that say, yes, felons can vote.
Yes.
There are some states they can't. Some states felons
I
cannot
was taught in
vote.
school you can't vote if you're a
Yeah,
felon.
right.
So
Yeah, right. They do wrong.
But I think that
Do you know that you're live on here? I can hear you.
I can see you.
No, you're not. I just heard her cough.
But
That was actually Niles coughing, just for information purposes.
No, there's no
In
way.
the other room, he is sick.
Oh, that sounded bad.
But even with him, it was the majority of people, and you're like, why?
Well, but
Because the average public
but
isn't
here though,
supporting you.
but listen, I'm gonna say that as a positive for him.
yes.
That speaks to how human he was inside the jail.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Ryan came out
So I
and asked a
talked
question,
to-
and I was like, it makes perfect sense.
So I will give him so much credit here because
Mhm.
I think this makes him. It made me like him a little more. Still not my favorite, but it made me like him a little more.
He's not qualified for sheriff, but
He's not qualified for sheriff, so he was a bailiff obviously in the courts. And so I talked to a few people last night actually who were explaining why, because they voted early and they voted Bockover, and I asked them why.
Okay.
And they all said, on the worst day of my life, when I'm sitting in a courtroom, they said Bockover treated me like a human being and was very kind to me. As the bailiff, you wouldn't think they would be naturally kind to the person in trouble, but they said he was very, very kind to them. He treated them with so much respect. And then after the fact, when they would run into him in public, he would ask how they were doing.
Yep.
He would ask if they're doing better. You know, he treated them like human, where I think in our current
He chased
situation, the sheriff treats people like animals. So
He
It's a
chased
great
me down
situation.
the hall at the county building in Henry County and introduced himself to me. And like, was jokingly like, hey, be nice to me. Like we talked and I appreciate that because a lot of people, try to hide and do weird shit. So I appreciate that he took the time to do that. Now, I'm disappointed. I reached out to him to ask him to come on and talk. And he's another one that just didn't give me anything.
But let me say this. With everything that I hear positive, like with people saying that, the positivity of this is how he treated me.
Mm-hmm.
Every police officer in Henry County should be taking note, because why is that not being said by every one of our officers?
Yeah.
Everybody that we see out should be treating all of us that way. Because it is sad that one guy gets tons of votes because they're treated like human beings.
Moreover, they should be treating the people they're dealing with that way.
Yes.
It should be the baseline, and it's
It
not.
should be the baseline.
That breaks my heart.
Yeah.
That people, because I don't have that kind of history. It breaks my heart that there are so many people who have been arrested and been treated so poorly that that there's one person they can remember during the shittiest situations that treated them like a human.
Yeah.
Like, shame on every officer that they are not doing that same thing for everyone in our community. Like, shame on all of you.
There's a few candidates that I hear stories about them as police officers that makes me just not want them to be mine. Sure. I don't like the stories I hear about them. I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
Nicholson's one of them.
And see, I've kept my story, with Nicholson down and not brought up.
And so we moved to Bachover. So on the Democrat side, Miranda Greenwell just said, I've heard very bad things about Landon. So I will say this. So's everybody else. There's a picture of him floating around where he's in a pool, and there's some guys in the pool, and there's some guys outside the pool, and there's a picture of him swimming in a pool, and there's nothing illegal going on. I don't understand why it always gets brought up. It's so weird.
I'm gonna take her to potty.
What?
She's gonna potty.
No, she doesn't.
I just asked her if she had to potty.
All right, you can take her. I don't think she does.
She needs to smoke. That's what's happening.
Oh, she wants
Rachel
to go.
needs to
Well,
smoke.
she potty.
Okay, I get it.
It's Rachel needs to smoke, so she's.
I was like, she's not drinking anything. She's been sitting down here for
she was
hours.
staring at her and then looking this way.
Because she wants on the
Okay.
couch.
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
You just want a cigarette.
Yeah, right. Okay, cigarette break.
Why do you guys snitch on me?
So the thing that I can say is about Landon. When I first started looking into Henry County, when people started asking about Henry County, the very first thing I heard was you gotta look for this cop, Landon Dean. He's a bad guy. He's molested all these people. He's molested me and all this stuff. And everybody I came out with, and I said, okay, well, I don't need to bust your story out. You can be confidential source. I just need to know what's happened. I've never been able to find any proof on Landon. I'm going to just say this. He may be gay. He may not be gay. I don't know what the deal is there. Here is the thing that I have heard. I've heard people say that, well, it's because he's gay. And in Henry County, it's 1957. And so gay means predator.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing. I will say Landon's name came out in all of those lawsuits, in all those big sexual lawsuits back a year ago. Landon's name came out in them. So did Jim Nicholson's.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of cops that were around. Jim Nicholson was not named in the lawsuit. Landon was not named in the lawsuit. Their names were just in there as being other cops being around. And in all fairness, I have reached out to Landon and I asked Landon about that. And Landon said, listen, when I became aware of X, Y, and Z happening, I turned it into my supervisor. And I reported it to my supervisor, and whatever happened with it at that point, I did what I needed to do. I have never heard or found any hardcore proof. I hear everyone say, I know somebody that Landon did this to. Okay, have him call me. Have him contact me. I heard Landon was arrested in a prostitution sting, and I could call the cop, and the cop would verify it to me. And the person gave me the number and told me the cop's name. And I called the cop, and the cop said, I've never arrested that guy. I don't know who that guy is. And I said, well, I heard that you made a report and that you called the sheriff at the time, Kim Cronk. He said, I've arrested a lot of cops for a lot of things. And you can take time and smoke if you want.
No, she really did have to potty. She went
Oh.
straight out and potty. I took 2 hits on
So now what's she doing?
She's upstairs with her favorite
Okay,
person.
that's good. That's good.
I left her outside.
Yeah, I was like, what? You didn't come back from the phone. But the thing is, did he show you the report? No, because he said there was not a report. The cop specifically said, I did not arrest Landon Dean. I have looked, he said, a lot of people have come back and asked this over the years because this is a rumor that goes. There was no record of him at the jail. There was no record of him going to the jail. There was never a mugshot. His name was never in there. There was no arrest report. The prosecutor's office down in that county didn't have a record of any paperwork. There was nothing. Damn it, dog. Come over here, pup.
She's like the little sister that just tags along.
Yeah, right.
I had a conversation last night with some people about Landon.
Okay.
They were discussing the Buckover versus Landon thing. And they had specifically said, one of the guys specifically said, oh yeah, Landon's had a hard on for me for years. He's inappropriate. And I said, okay, personal situation. Yeah. I said, can you tell me that story? He just had a hard on for me.
Yeah.
Can you give me direct examples of that? Well, he's gay. That's not, I said, okay, so because he's gay, are you telling me, does he hit on you? Well, he obviously has a hard on for me. So you're just someone who gets in trouble and Landon gets you in trouble for it. I said, there's nothing wrong with him being gay. I said, but if you do have a story, I would love to hear it.
Right.
I really would love to hear it. And then the other one, someone else was mentioning that, oh, well, he's mentioned, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, you're fine. Keep going.
He said
I see what he's saying. I see what Joe's saying now. I'll get back to that in a second.
They were also saying, oh, all these people have stories with Landon where he was raping and involved in those situations. And I said, he wasn't involved in the way you guys think he was. And I said, there's no stories that come out about this. And they were like, well, how do you expect somebody to come out and tell that traumatizing story? And I said, they did it last year. Yeah, they all came out.
A bunch of people came out and a bunch of people are named in the lawsuits. And you figure Landon's name. Landon was not named. He wasn't named. All I need is somebody to come out with proof.
Well, we sat at that protest on the square, and there were actual victims there telling their stories and talking about the officers specifically. At no point did any of them mention Landon Dean. If he's doing this, somebody would have proof because they have proof on everybody else. They have a story. We don't have it.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is there. Now I get what, yes, Chris, that's the same kind of thing I hear, unfortunately, rumor mill. Now I understand what you're saying, Joe. If Landon said he made a report, then there should be proof of that. You said that Landon said he reported to a supervisor. So, I will tell you, I don't know. I mean, we're talking about things that happened in the 90s. So it's crazy to say that the 90s was 35 years ago. That's insane. But it could be as simple as Landon told the chief deputy, which I believe at the time was Jay Davis. So I don't know. And the problem is, I don't think Jay's going to say anything because he's currently named in. Is he named in lawsuits?
I don't know. I think he was. I don't know.
I don't know if he is or not. I know his name was in there. I don't know where Jay is on that, but I don't know. I tell you what I will do. I will reach out and I will ask him if a hard copy report was made. The thing is, it'll be very difficult to probably get that, but I will try. I will reach out to get that. What I took it as when Landon said that is he was aware of a situation and he took that situation to his supervisor, like verbally. I don't know that there's a report, but I will look for that and I will tell you that as well. So I'll keep you posted. Okay, so I think that I'm very scared. I think just because of what's happening, I want someone to be able to beat Sproles. I don't care. I think Jason can be sheriff at some time.
I hope Randy Howard makes it through the primary.
That would be the best thing possible.
Everybody vote Randy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Everybody vote Randy.
I hope Randy makes it through the primary.
Yeah.
To get, in Rachel's perfect world, for Landon to come through and Jason to become the number 2. And then Jason run after.
Yes.
Landon.
So that's what you want to happen.
That's what I want to happen.
Okay. What do you think is going to happen?
I think Sproles is going to make it.
I think
Sproles is going to beat the primary?
Yes.
And probably then or are we just talking about primary?
Primary,
I don't know yet.
because a lot of things could
Yeah.
change.
Sure.
If it comes down to Landon and Sproles, Landon has to pick his campaign up.
Yeah.
And he has to bust butt. And I think that, like we talk about all of these people we weren't going to vote for at the beginning, and things have changed because no one speaks. When it comes to passion, Landon Dean wins that hands down. When it comes to being a cop who works 110% of the day, the guy never stops working. He is dedicated to his community.
Yeah.
I could tell you, I had somebody breaking into my house and Landon was there that quick. I called Kelly, I called 911. His wife Kelly at the time was working dispatch. Landon was at home. She called him and got his butt down there off duty. My elderly neighbor got hit and robbed at Walmart. Landon chased them out. Landon caught the Dartmouth killers, people.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk about that, but
Yeah.
that just means, most of the cops who are hanging out at Speedway are shooting the shit, not paying attention to anybody. And Landon is always aware.
Yeah.
He gives 110%, and he is the most dedicated public official that I can think of.
Like we just talked about how Tony Saunders genuinely seems like he cares about it.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
really gives
I
a
think
shit.
Landon sees that way as well.
Landon Dean is the only one that when I look at them and I listen to them talk is the only one that genuinely cares about the community and seems like he wants this for the better of the county. The rest of them, this seems like a ego thing.
Yeah, and Landon, if you would have just been a Republican, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Why that matters right now in the sheriff race, but whatever.
So, okay, we've got the sheriff's done. What about the commissioner race?
Are we going to talk about council?
Council, nobody's running against anybody in council.
Levi and county council.
There's only one. Levi.
And black.
The older dude.
Black.
The young dude and the old dude.
The young dude and the old. Levi
Regner.
Simmons and Blackburn. What's his name? The old guy.
I mean, most of them are old.
No, but I know. But in this one, the county council is Levi Simmons is like 26
Henry
years old.
County Council.
It's Blackburn, I think.
Wait, didn't mean to upset anyone. I feel attacked by asking. Thanks for asking.
What is it?
Wait. Oh no.
I tell you what you can do, Rachel. Could you run, or one of you? Could you run inside in my actual studio, and there is a manila folder on the ground right inside by the trash can.
I'm trying to find back to what
Next to the
Miranda said.
Yeah, it's on the ground.
Yeah, Ryan.
No, Miranda, you're not. You can ask anything that you want here. Nobody's attacking you, and you're free to ask. You can ask anything here. There's no problem with that. That's no problem.
Miranda, we just get passionate.
Yeah. And the people, I don't know the people in the comments. I'm not seeing the comments, but yeah, you're free to ask that stuff. Okay, so
I've got it right here. County Council, District 4. You've got Joe Blackburn and Levi Simmons.
I don't know Joe Blackburn. Thank you, Kate. I don't know Joe Blackburn or Levi Simmons.
And the rest are uncontested. There's only one.
Which is so
in
disappointing.
In the county council roast, though, I was at the first forum when they were talking at the Republican forum, and Blackburn kind of went on the whole thing of just financials and spending money better and things like that. Levi Simmons came in and talked about how he's younger. He wants to find a way to bring younger people into politics. When he wanted to get into it, he wasn't able to really find anybody that was willing to kind of, I think, educate the younger generation, and he wants to be able to do that. I'm a huge Levi Simmons fan. Huge. I think he's phenomenal. He's just kind of precious, and it doesn't really matter politically, but I think he would do a significantly better job.
And, I say, hey, Levi, and this is part of the Republican and Democrat Party where they fell miserably. Why are they not doing outreach more?
Everybody,
Because
that's everywhere.
Like
half the places because they don't want people. They don't want new people.
Ding ding.
They don't.
But like Levi, I hope win or lose, that he goes to the Republican meetings.
Yeah, he
he
doesn't give
starts
up.
getting involved.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it'll show with these people. And the same way with the other guy, and I'm guilty of not doing a lot, but I mean, schedule wise,
Well,
You know,
I
again,
will
it's
tell
hard
you
for
my
people to get up
thoughts.
there.
I will tell you my thoughts on. I don't know Blackburn. He didn't reach out, so shame on him too. I will tell you the weirdness with Levi, and I don't know him. I don't have any problem with him. I reached out to him, and he reached back and said, "Hey, I love your show. I watch your show. It's how I stay up with what's going on in Henry County and everywhere else. But I just don't have time to come on. I don't. I was like, what do you mean you don't have time to come on? I was like, the election's like 4 weeks away." And he's like, yeah, he's like, I work and I don't know if he said he had kids or whatever. I was like, okay, I'm trying to figure out. I was like, I'm on like 2 hours or more a night, 5 nights a week. If we can't do it live, contact me and we can figure out a way. Well, I will record with you earlier in the day and put it on. And he's like, okay, cool, shoot me dates. And I was like, nah. You tell me when you got time and I'll make it work. And he just never got back to me.
I don't love that.
So I got a problem with that. Yeah, like here's the thing: because I'm like, dude, what? Because he's like, he started a new job or maybe he owns his own business. Is he going to be too busy for the council? Like if he's too busy to I have a rule: people will govern like they campaign.
Yeah.
So if you are communicative, and you're willing to talk, you're going to do that as you might do that. You can also suck, and that happens a lot. But if you suck in the campaign, chances are you're going to suck as an elected official. And so that's the way I look at it. And so I'm not saying he sucks. When you say, "Hey, I'm running for office, but I'm too busy to talk to people," he went to one forum, right?
No, he went to.
Yeah, he was at the library.
He was at the 2 library forums.
Okay, so that I give him that, but the problem with those are they're just such a short window.
And then neither
people.
of them were at the nighttime one. I don't think.
Yeah, right. They were not.
I will say though, just to give him a little bit more props, a sad situation of a teenager in our community died last year, year before, and he volunteered his time and helped like build a website for the family.
That's
for
cool.
His death. So he's a very like community involved, sweet individual.
Yeah, he's like a good person.
Yes, he's just a good person. The other guy I don't know a lot about. He just kind of seemed Scroogey.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the Blackburn guy, but
yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. So Commissioner.
Oh,
I
Steve
can't
Dunbar.
decide.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, in fairness, they are working on the Steve Duggar campaign, so they're not probably going to say a whole lot because they just don't want to do. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but they're working for his team. They're related to Steve. I'm looking for Steve. I reached out to both Steve and Chase Heinhold. I will, to Chase's credit, Chase reached back to me and said, "Hey." It took a long time for him to get back to me. And when he didn't get back to me, I lied. I reached out to him and he didn't respond. I reached out again. And then he commented on his Facebook and was like, "Yeah, I'll get back to you." And I didn't hear back from him. And then I got his phone number and I called him out of the blue and he answered. And I was like, "So you're going to come on?" And he's like, No, I'm not going to come on. He was like, "I just don't understand what you're trying to do." I was like, "What do you mean what I'm trying to do?" He's like, "Well, I'll talk to you like here." And I said, "I don't want to talk to you. I don't vote for you. I don't live in Henry County. It's you coming on and talking to the people." And we like went back and forth and fought this, and he just seemed very weird, and he just didn't understand. He doesn't understand what the boss hogs do. He doesn't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? It's campaigning, bro. It's part of campaigning. But I'm going to tell you what the deal is there. Chase Heinhold is very aloof. He doesn't care about this. He's, in my opinion, he's running this campaign because his dad, BJ Chapman, or father-in-law, they're big farmers up in the west side or whatever of the county. And I think that there's something that they want. There's something going on. Solar, wind, pushing data center. Something is happening that they're wanting to have their fingers in this situation. And so he's definitely a big supporter of Sproles. I will tell you, I'm going to read this and just put this out there. This is something I am looking into. Hakeem Abdul Shabazz put out the cheat sheet. The other day I read the cheat sheet, and for the first time ever, they talked about Henry County. Very odd. In the cheat sheet, they said, let me get here to the cheat sheet.
Yeah, Jack, I can tell you Duggar is not pro-wind. But he was pro-wind in the thing, and then he's not.
Okay, not pro-wind, they're saying. Okay. Someone is polling in Henry County. Cheat sheet readers in Henry County started forwarding text messages this week from Right Strategies, asking voters to weigh in on a quick poll covering the contested Republican primaries for sheriff, prosecutor, and county commissioner District 1. The link routes through facts291.net to a jot form survey listing all 5 sheriff candidates, Howard, Nicholson, Ring, Sproles, Williams, all 5 prosecutor candidates, Allen, Bell, Ickey, Brock, Saunders, and District 1 commissioner race, Duggar versus Heinhold. Abdul says, we had to read it twice. Someone is paying for live voter ID polling in Henry County. A quick check shows Right Strategies is a real political consulting firm founded in 2022 by Morgan Bonwell, who, per the firm's own bio, worked previously with the Republican Party of Iowa, the Iowa State Capitol, and importantly, the Indiana Republican Party. The firm pitches itself as a full-service shop helping conservative candidates with voter contact and infrastructure. It does not appear to be registered as an Indiana Political Action Committee, which makes sense. It's a vendor, not a committee, which raises the obvious question, who hired them? In a county where most local races used to be decided over coffee at the diner, the fact that a campaign or a PAC, a political action committee, or a curious benefactor is dropping money for a national tier consulting firm to do text-based voter ID and ballot testing is itself the story. Somebody thinking one or more of these races is close enough, and the prize is valuable enough to spend real money figuring out where the votes are. The paid for by Right Strategies disclaimer on the text is also worth a closer look. Indiana law requires political communications expressly advocating for or against candidates to disclose the candidate, committee, or person that pays for the communication. A firm name without a candidate or committee identifier may or may not satisfy that, depending on whether the survey is treated as a poll research or as a voter contact advocacy. Lawyers, sharpen your pencils. And so basically what this means is this poll's going out, and one of the candidates in the commissioner's district, northern district race did this, one of the prosecutors did it, or one of the sheriff's candidates did it. And I can tell you this, Randy Howard didn't do it, Craig Ring didn't do it, Landon Dean didn't do it, Bockover didn't do it, Steve Duggar didn't do it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I can tell you that Jeremy Bell didn't do it. And from there, I can say maybe Saunders did it, maybe Kyle Allen did it, maybe Christy Brock did it, maybe Ickey did it. I don't think Sproles do it because I think Sproles is egotistical enough, and I don't think that Jason did it, and I don't think Nicholson did it. So I'll be honest. I think it comes down to a Heinhold. So on Friday, I contacted the clerk's office and I asked the Henry County clerk's office to provide me with the candidate's most recent campaign finance filing, which campaign filing finance forms suck. You put the first one out in the beginning of April, and we won't get another one from them until October. So I requested the forms from Sproles and from Heinhold. Now, what's interesting to me is both Sproles and Heinhold had documentation on their campaign finance form where they had Heinhold went directly through Right Strategies in Iowa. He went through that thing that the cheat sheet mentions. Sproles, and right there it is at the bottom, it says Right Strategies LLC, 1370 Northwest 18th Street, 104 Suite C, something, Iowa. And he paid $2,202 on March 5th, 2026. Now, it says yard signs. I think it's very possible that he paid for yard signs at that point, and that in October we will find out that they paid for the rest of the polling at that date. I am going to pull the documents from the prosecutors, and Sproles has that same thing. Now, the difference with Sproles is the one that Sproles has is not from Right Strategies. It's from Wave Right, which is a division of Right Strategies, and he only paid $30. And I can tell you this is $30 is not paying for polling. $2,000 isn't paying for polling. It's going to be a larger amount. So I'm still going to say, here's me speculating. Me speculating says if I get the documentation for Corey Criswell, I think Corey Criswell could very well have went through these people, and Heinhold or Sproles knows of them because of that. I am going to pull Criswell's. I am going to get everyone else's. But I think what we're seeing here is that Heinhold is pulling this because they're nervous. And what? That did?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's crazy. It shouldn't have. Well, that's weird. Anyways, everything's dying. This is a good thing we're still here. So here's where I am on this. I think that Heinhold is, I don't think it's Heinhold. I think it's his father-in-law. I think his father-in-law needs Heinhold to be in this position for some reason. I don't think Heinhold cares one way or another. I think I want Steve Duggar to win. I think Steve Duggar is going to win. I don't think this is a problem. I don't think it's something we're going to have to worry about. That's where I am.
Cool.
You want him to win? You think he's going to win?
He should.
Yes, we hope that. So the people of Henry County need to vote for him. Now, the only other thing that I really care to talk about in Henry County is the clerk.
Yeah.
Clerk race is between Rachel Parham.
Because that's the only one contested, right?
That's the only other one.
Yeah,
that's the only other one that's contested.
Lisa has an opponent who has said that they're not.
He's not doing anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So what actually is
just
question
funny.
on that?
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Because I just want to know what I should do. If he is on the ballot, even if he says that he dropped out, if he were to
drop out,
get,
he's on the ballot.
He's on the ballot.
Yeah.
So if he got more votes, he would
be elected.
Okay.
Then
that's all I need.
he would be elected.
Yes.
And then he'd say, I'm not going to take it.
Right.
And then they would have to caucus, and they would probably caucus Lisa in.
Okay.
Is what would happen.
So like a wasted vote is not on.
Because here's what happens. You only have like a 10-day window to withdraw your name from the ballot from when you file.
Yeah, it's like a very
you
small
file and there's 10 days. This happens all the time. People will file and then get killed in a car wreck.
Right.
And then they're on the ballot because you can't even, families have been upset by this.
It would have extended
because,
tragedy.
Yeah, right. It's just like, God, their name's everywhere and they're just on here. So yeah, it's a weird thing. But you just.
So it's not a wasted vote, it's a possibility vote.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Now, if you don't like Lisa, you understand that voting for the other guy is still a vote for Lisa because she will get votes. And so if he gets elected and he drops out and they do a caucus, she will most definitely put her name in for it.
100%.
And even if two other people put her name in, what she's going to say is, I'm the only other candidate that's actually received votes.
Well, that makes sense.
And they're going to put her in it. So that's what's going to happen.
Complete sense.
So.
And I told her this, but apparently she doesn't believe what I say and needed to double check.
No, that's fine. I understand. That's good. I get that a lot.
Sometimes you just talk.
That is true. I've heard it.
You know what? Just go sit in the car.
Okay. So then the clerk.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you or do you want to go?
You start.
Okay. when I first heard about these people, I've really came to like Jenny Grubbs a lot. I've really come to like her. That used to not be the story. I used to go in there mad and pissed off all the time, and I would have to yell and scream, and those girls were terrified. Matter of fact, they are still terrified when I call now. Like I'm like, no, everything's okay. It's okay. It's not that scary. You guys are okay. You're not doing stupid stuff. Everything's good. So I really hate that Jenny's going. I like that Ashley's going to be sticking around.
Like just when you got her trained.
I know, just when she's doing the right thing. Yeah, right. It always happens that way.
I do like her though.
Yeah.
So when it started,
does my hair though, so I'm biased.
that's like almost more biased than Steve.
Yes,
it is.
Right.
Absolutely,
Yes. So when this first started, my mind was made up for Rachel Parham before I ever knew anything about any of them. Okay, and then some people said, "Hey, you got to listen to BJ and BJ Zaffey." And it is Zaffy like Taffy. He told me that's exactly what he said. And there are people that say, here's what's going to happen. I have been really put off by the people from Rachel Parham's wheelhouse, from her team, maybe from her friends or supporters, who I'm okay if they want to go on to BJ's wall and challenge him. But I get the impression that they're purposefully trying to just make him look stupid. And I don't think that's a good look. It's the same thing of what Connie's doing. It's the Mike Jones thing. It's the Dan Addicts thing going on. They're not engaging in politics. It's a piss poor form of that. So I've been off put by that. I will tell you, when I did the candidate interviews and I did BJ first and then Rachel. When I did BJ, he seems like he's looked stuff up. He's really invested. He's like Craig Ring. If he loses, he needs to stay involved. If he loses, he needs to stay active. Okay. I will say this. When I first did the interview with BJ, he seems like a great guy, but he just didn't seem, again, he seemed kind of like Nicholson. He wasn't as into it. And so I wasn't happy with the performance. And I just thought, all right, she's going to come on here and blow it out of the water. They're both nice people. When I did the interview with Rachel Parham the next week, Parham came on and was a dead fish, was even less interactive and excited than BJ was. So her interview actually made me like BJ more. She seems like she knows what she's doing. She's been there for 10 years. But she's just like, there used to be a thing on Saturday Night Live where it was like the Debbie Downer. And she'd be like this, and, do you know that sun rays can kill us with cancer? That's just what Rachel seemed like to me. I like her. She's a nice person, but good Lord, where is the candidate, like these people teaching candidates to act like they, are alive, do a shot of cocaine or something before we go on the show. Let's get going. You know what I mean?
Of cocaine?
Yeah.
A whole shot.
Yeah, that would be impressive.
Right.
I have kind of strong opinions on this one.
Okay.
So when it first started and I went to the forums and I watched them, it was tough to watch either of them speak. It was really hard. They're not public speakers, but clerk's office doesn't need to be a public speaker, I guess. I mean, you deal with the public, but you don't need.
Yeah. It's like one-on-one.
Yeah, it's office work. But I was Rachel because in the office for 10 years, all that stuff. And then I started thinking about it. She started mentioning how she was not educated on certain parts of the clerk's office. She didn't know a lot about elections.
Was my biggest problem.
I had an issue because in my head, I watched BJ focus so much on educating himself and researching and learning everything he can without actually being in the office. Because at that point, you are a little behind. There's only so much you can truly understand. And then you have Rachel, who's been in the office for 10 years. So she has 10 years of experience. And in that 10 years, she knew that Grubbs wasn't going to run again. And in that time, especially within the last year, she never educated herself. She never made the effort to do it, to make changes. Never made the effort to learn anything about what she didn't already know, never tried to get herself ready for the clerk position. And on top of that, she doesn't have any ideas for change to make it better. Is the clerk's office running smoothly? Yes. But is there always room for improvement? Yes. And she has zero ideas with 10 years of experience. She has no education on a certain side of it with all of this knowledge, knowing that this was coming up. And so that I struggle with.
We can't see it. The computer went dead.
She says, Bilbrey, why are you being so rough on the lady candidates? We can't all be charming as Sproles all the time. Yo, these are Republicans. You're not supposed to like them.
But
no,
yeah, so
I get it. No, I'm just saying, listen, here, yes, before Rachel gets to roll here, I just want to say she filed to run in January or the end of February or the beginning of February. You know, the period runs from the beginning of January to the first week in February. So a 30-day window there. I get maybe if you didn't learn any of this stuff over the last year, 10 years, you file for clerk on day one and you're like, I don't know anything about the election side. Why didn't you learn something about it?
you're there every day.
In the second month, in the third month. Our interview was in April, and she came on and said, you know, one of the most important sides for me about the clerk is you're the chief elections officer. Oh, I don't know anything about that. I have a chief deputy to do it. Boo! What? I heard that and I was like, holy shit. So she tells me that, and then I hear her talk at the Knightstown thing, which was like a week and a half or 2 weeks later. And she said, I'm like, dude, you didn't leave my interview and go in the next day and say, hey, Ashley, can you give me some baseline stuff? So it's like, that is a real problem for me. That's a problem. I don't know.
There was also a comment that I heard. I did not watch it, so don't quote me. I heard there was a comment made on Boss Hog that she made about what's Grub's first name? Jenny. That Jenny at 2020 decided to stay home. Did you hear about this?
Tell me. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Did you watch this?
I attempted to watch it, but I couldn't hear it, so I turned it off.
Okay, so I could be completely wrong, so someone fact check me on Boss Hog. But I heard that it was stated that she said that Jenny decided as of 2020 with COVID that she was going to stay home and not come in, which I guess clerks don't actually have to.
Well, no elected official has to work but once a year.
So she took over kind of all the responsibilities. So if we're in that factor, so then there's 6 years of you took over all responsibilities and you don't understand elections. You don't understand a lot of it. Now, again, fact check me, because if I'm wrong, take me back on everything I just said. But that is what I had heard.
Did somebody watch the Boss Hog delivery thing and know that? I know that's hard to hear, but yeah, it's very weird. Yeah.
And
I go back and watch it if you're curious.
I could not see Jenny not being active.
That was my thought when I heard that. Is I can't imagine she would walk away.
I know that Jenny did some weird stuff back in those early days. Jenny did some weird things. So, like, I don't know that. I don't know that happened for a fact, but I could see that happening because Jenny did some weird shit back in the early stages.
It's a slap in the face to Jenny. It's
disrespectful
to her and her effort she's made as the clerk.
Yeah, right. So that's definitely a weird thing. So I mean, where are you at now with BJ? I mean, so who do you think was going to win? Did you give your thoughts on this?
Yeah, give your thoughts.
What's your thoughts?
This is a hard one for me because I've known Rachel all over life.
Rachel Parham.
Yep.
I know one, so.
And 100% out of the gate was for Rachel. And BJ to me was the worst public speaker. I mean, I keep saying that.
Worse than Jim Nicholson?
Ooh, Jim Nicholson's worse.
Yeah.
And I got nothing to do with him being a cop. Being a chief of the department does not mean you have to be a good public speaker. So I'm not knocking him.
Yeah,
he's just not good
And he
speaking.
won't look you in the eye when he talks.
But why have you not learned this in 30 years?
Yeah.
All right, go on.
So like BJ just, I didn't even really think about it because it was just, well, Rachel's my vote. And then when I heard what he actually got, like I said, that was my biggest frustration with forums. was that you never got to take away what people truly wanted, what their ideas were, anything. But what caught it was he had made the comment in that video about that they are still using paper in that office. So one, any employee who still works there and has not spoke out very publicly that should be the first thing that is changed. But here's the guy who doesn't work in the office and that's the priority.
Typing.
Yeah, that to me, I was like, oh man, like how do you not use this as a thing to run off of, especially working in that office. And then I started doing digging, like I do with everybody, back and forth, that uphill thing. And I'm not 100% either or. I think I know which way I'm leaning, but I don't know. And I, regardless of which way I vote, Rachel Parham is one of the nicest, greatest people, but I still need to try. I have more research to do. That's one I have more asking questions, looking into it.
Yeah, my thing is in the final days. I want to see what they do.
Yeah,
I want to see what they do in the
see.
final days.
I need no more. And I am going to reach out to Rachel and just kind of ask them, questions, because I do want to know those things.
I like Rachel.
Yeah.
And if Rachel wins, it'll be fine.
Yes. So
and
it'll be fine.
I think it'll be fine if BJ wins. I know that there's a lot of people that give BJ shit for saying that he wants to extend hours. And I think that maybe part of it was because of how he first said it. I think people just assume he's like, I'm going to go in there and they're going to be on day one. We're going to be in there different hours. And everyone's like, well, you got to be there when the courts are. Okay, well, we will be here when the courts are here. I just want to extend them a little extra because the clerk has to be there when the court is open. But they can also be there when the court is closed. That is not a problem. And so it's not something he could just go in and do. He's got to work. It might not be something that he gets done in the first year or the second year. It might not be the third year. Maybe he goes in and he fights for it and the commissioners and everybody says no. And he says, well, look, I tried. That doesn't mean he loses. It just means he's something to fight for. These are things that someone would have to fight for. And I think he's been clear on saying, I want to fight for this. I want to try to do this. This is what I want to do. This is my hope to do this. And I don't think that you can give him hell for that. So I like him. I like her. I don't have a problem. I also want to talk about, there's been some controversy because I guess there's someone asked him about his experience or lack of experience. And he'd made a comment about, he would talk to Rachel and, if he lost, he would hope to talk to her. All the girls and all the people in the office, all the women and the people that work there, men, women, I think it's just women, right?
It's women.
All the women, which is something that he's talked about. All the women that work in there are deputy clerks. Then you have 2 chief deputy clerks on the election side and the court side. I don't think it's a bad thing for him to say, look, I would be willing to go in and talk. And if we can keep her here and she can stay and she's going to be here, that's fine. I think that's a reasonable thing to say. Now, that doesn't mean she's going to be his chief deputy. That doesn't mean maybe she won't stay. Maybe she won't want to, but it's okay for that to happen. Hey, Rachel here. I said chief deputy stayed home. Also, I did say, owner to digitalize records in the podcast. We are currently paperless as of around 2018, I believe. Okay, that's very good.
So my comment was wrong. I understood it wrong.
So you said the chief deputy stayed home. Who's the chief deputy? If you said her name. No, she's only been the chief deputy for the last 5. Well.
Okay, so that would make sense. Someone else was.
At the time.
That makes sense.
Because she's only been chief deputy for the last 5 years, I think.
I'm glad she cleared that up, though, because that was a misinterpretation by a few people. So I'm glad that she cleared that one up.
Yes. So I'm happy about that.
Yes.
And again, listen, I'm not negative on either one of these people.
Me either.
I like them.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying I wanted to not own her. Okay. I did say I wanted to digitalize records in the podcast. We are currently paperless as of around 2018. I believe. That makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. I get it. I was like, I don't own her to do. Okay, I get that. So that's just my thought there. I'm glad I don't have a dog in that fight because both of them would be good.
Yeah,
You know what I
they
mean?
both
Like,
would be good.
and listen, and they're both going to make mistakes and screw things
Mhm.
up, and everybody's going to do that, and that's fine. That happens. It's the way that it's handled. It's the way that it's done. I hope that they're both willing to be open and honest and really. That's the one I don't have a dog in that fight. I think they're both good people. Just
That one's the same as prosecutors for me.
Get
I'm
excited.
not going to be upset
Either
by
way.
whoever wins. I'm going to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel good about the decision regardless.
yeah.
And I call it the courthouse races because it seems like anytime inside the offices in the courthouse, never get publicity, never
Mhm.
get, it's just
Well,
like
a lot of those
nobody
races,
spends
like
time.
especially with like a assessor assessor is important, but like a surveyor, treasurer, those are like not the like sexy,
Yeah.
they're like, anybody can, whatever, it's not like, you seem like people know about mayor, commissioner, sheriff,
Mhm.
prosecutor, judge, counsel, those are the big cool ones. And, and the clerk's office is very important.
It is.
Mhm.
The clerk's office is very, 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 yeah, right. That's exactly right, Stumblefoot. He said, I have a dog. It's too sleepy to fight. And that's definitely true. It's only got 3 legs. What can you do?
And I will say with this race, that is where Rachel and BJ both deserve credit because they have brought more attention to this position
Yeah.
where people have asked questions, became I've learned from.
The clerk is a very important
Yeah,
position.
yes.
It's very, very important.
Absolutely.
And I will say, Admiral Eric told her that he likes the name. Her name is Tally Me Banana, and I like that. So, and I like that she was willing to come on here
Mhm.
and speak her mind and say that about just like right now.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
No,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm really happy she did that.
I like seeing people win that I see out in the community helping when they aren't running for office too. And that's a big thing. And that's why I tell everybody that's running, if you lose and you think, well, I could run again in the future, don't do that. And so many people do this where they lose and then they screw off for 3.5 years. And then they come back in that time, say, okay, I'm here and I'm feeding the poor and I'm doing this. You need to stay involved, get put on a board or asked to do this or whatever. And that's the thing there. I real quick want to, and I know you guys don't know anything really about this, but I want to talk about the sheriff's race in Madison County. In Madison County, they have a situation very similar to what's going on in Henry County. We have an incumbent that a lot of people don't like, but he has some he has some supporters. And then there's this kid that's running against it, Culp, that doesn't know.
Isn't Culp like, it's like, this is like his mom is.
Yeah, so his
relevant.
mom is a city council.
Okay.
His dad is the auditor. They're like connected to another family that does, they're all interconnected. It's very weird. Culp is a very brash, like 25-year-old dumbass kid.
Watch your words.
And he's gross. And like, I'm sure Catherine is not still here, but like Catherine is thinking that the name is going to win this for him. I hope that's not true. I hope that is not true. I don't like Beeman. The current sheriff, but I don't know what's going to happen over there. I hope that Culp does not do it. Obviously, we're supportive of Catherine. Catherine's running against Mike Gaskell. That's going to be a very tough race in the state Senate race, District 25 or 26, 25, I think, 25. So we're supportive of that. Over there, they don't have a lot of other contested races. The problem with so many of these things, like Randolph County, there's a contested sheriff's race in Randolph County on the Republican side, and there's a contested judge race, both Democrat and Republican. My former brother-in-law is running for judge in Randolph County, Trevor Okerson, and so we want him to win. He should have ran for prosecutor, but I'm okay with judge. Madison County seems off the rails this year. It's really culprit can be Madison County Sproles. If he wins, it's going to be really crazy. If that cult kid wins in Madison County, he is going to. It'll be worse than Sproles because he doesn't know anything, and he's egotistical and he'll be crazy.
Do you think though that it's just that thing of a lot of people, because they want to be associated with the upper echelon of people where they're like, oh yeah, I'll vote for your son. Oh yeah, you can put a sign in. But then they're like, there is no way.
I would hope. Now, I mean, that's a weird, but I'm a weird person because I would never support a candidate that I am not supporting for either legitimate reasons or for chess playing reasons. But if I'm not going to support you for one reason or another, I'm not putting a sign of yours in my yard.
If you knew how many people along all of my years, they don't care.
Yeah, that's so weird.
I just drove today and they had every sheriff's.
Now that's
almost.
That's
all the time.
That's the reason I tell people, and I'm okay with people like that says, yeah, you can do it, and that's fine. That's why people should. The thing is, campaigns are win and lost on the ground game, knocking doors. Ryan Webb just learned that. He's been doing that a lot this year. So many people say, "Oh no, we're in the way of the future."
Oh,
and
we need to talk about that.
It's a social media thing
about that.
But you've learned that, right? You think that you've learned that.
So I started the whole campaign process of thinking that social media had a very intense impact on campaigns. And then throughout this, within 2 months, I very quickly realized that social media gives you a wrong interpretation of where it's going. It makes you think it's going well or poorly when it's really just grassroots. It's knocking on doors, talking to people. And I learned that very quickly.
And that is why people love Steve Duggar has covered.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And what he's not covered on houses, he's standing outside Rule King. He's standing outside
he goes
Speedway.
and stands in parking lots and talks to people.
He's not homeless.
Not homeless, just likes to talk.
Yeah.
He just likes
he
to
got
chat.
3,000 votes and $200 in cash of people donating to the homeless guy.
No, that did not happen.
That was a joke.
That was a joke. Total joke.
Jesus.
But no, I mean, it is about 100% grassroots. And I mean, that's what I did for O'Bannon. When I worked on that party, it is grassroots will win a campaign. And, doing certain things to draw people in and like social media, hey, we're going to buy you this or we're going to do this.
It's a good
here's free cookies. Do the likes. It gets recognition.
Yeah.
But nothing beats being able to be acknowledged by the candidate, feel like you're heard, and know that you're heard. Because I can guarantee anybody who's talked to Steve, he has made notes. He's going to remember and know what people have issues with to start tracking that down when he gets elected, or, I always say when, to make sure that is at least addressed or it's going to be a concern and he needs to look into it.
Yeah.
Social media is a good tool, though. It's a good aid. It's helpful. It's useful, but it's not apparently how you win a campaign.
Well, no, that's absolutely. That's very true. And the ground game has to have it. It's just the way. I want to talk really quickly about Delaware County. Just blow through these real quick.
Not quick. Let's do.
Well, it's just up to you. You guys.
3 hours in.
No, we're just 2:27.
That's like halfway through a typical Bilbrey episode.
Oh yeah, we started late.
That did happen. I do want to talk about this just briefly. I mean, you can take as long as you want, but I just wanted to tell you. So, basically, I want to make sure that we talk about this. So real quick, in Madison County, I said between Gaskell and Catherine, I'm supporting Catherine. In Henry County, you've got this situation where
Rats and Anthony.
Rotz and Itmeyer's on the other side.
Anthony Jones.
Rotz and
is it Jackson?
It's Anthony Jones.
Anthony Jones, but apparently Anthony Jones isn't doing anything. Rotz basically said
that's what he said.
Okay, so he said that he made the comment at that forum, and I found it weird, so I looked into it. He made the comment, the guy put his name on the ballot, is basically doing nothing, so you should just vote for, is it Rots or Rats? Rots. You should just vote for Rots. So then I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. He is a candidate. He is talking. I know that he's for the legalization of marijuana. So
okay, that's very interesting. So
Yeah.
Rots kind of told a fib, and Rots is gross. Rots is like the J.D. Prescott. Rots is like they're in there with that whole deal. So I am not a big fan of Rots. Rots is going to win. That's the end of the day.
I'm voting for Anthony.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's good. I think that's a protest vote. I think it's good to do that, to let him know
Yes.
that, like, hey, I'm not voting for you. That's
Yes.
good. I want to tell people, if you have people that are running that you don't like, but no one is voting, leave it blank.
Mhm.
And we'll talk about this tomorrow, but you can leave that blank. You don't have to vote for people just because they're there. As far as the State Senate District 26 between Scott Alexander and Catherine Critch, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Scott Alexander is going to win. There's no question. Critch has ran a couple of times. She's just very, very grassroots, like grass seed level campaign. Like it's not grown yet, but
I thought that was a good thing.
yeah, no.
Grass seed.
Jesus.
Well, I didn't know.
That's
I'm a
hilarious.
social media campaign person. I don't know.
And then so for the District 33, of course, it's J.D. Prescott. That sucks. That's horrible. He doesn't have an opponent. Then in District 34, it's an open seat. So you have Richard Ivey and Randall McAllister.
Was Randall the one that just somebody posted about a arrest record on him?
It wasn't an arrest record.
What was it?
It's an infraction. Everyone keeps says, I can't believe he's running with these charges.
Is this the school bus thing?
Yeah.
This is dumb.
It's real. What? So tell me about it. What do you think?
So I think they posted about it and said, how can we trust you with the safety of our children or something?
Yeah.
And I was like, failure to stop at yeah, you should stop at a school bus, but poor timing. I don't know. I think it's not big of a deal.
They're just making. They're like, did you know this candidate wants to kill your kids?
Yeah, it's so dramatic. I thought it was going to be like a chomo charge.
Well,
I was
yeah.
shocked.
Because it looks
was
like
a
that.
school bus.
Well, so this very same thing plays out with Ryan Webb. So there was a situation where Ryan Webb was in a situation, and his family's all cool now. Everything's going on. But, sometimes step kids and things, they don't always like the new dad coming in, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there was a little bit of a fight and there was something going on. And I don't know if I should be telling this. I don't know if he's got this. I think he did. I think he did put this out. I am so sorry if I've said this, Ryan. Maybe I should be saying this. But there was a fight where not like a 4-year-old, an older kid was in the back seat, and my brother did this to my mom accidentally when my brother was like really young, like 3, wraps the seatbelt around your throat, killing, while you're driving. And I think to get that off of him, Ryan bit. And so now there's this meme, Ryan Webb bites kids. And they say this. And so that's what these people that don't like Ryan always say. Do you know he bit a kid? And they always make it like real dark and make him look menacing. That's politics, man. So they're gonna like put this thing out of Randall McAllister. He doesn't care about your kids. How can we trust him to be a state representative? And it's like, yes, that's a serious ticket. Like if you run that around, that's like a $400 or $500 ticket.
But
So yeah, right. Like it shouldn't happen. And
Should they put the seatbelt around him?
Who?
We've already moved past that.
No, hang on, real quick. Did the child put the seatbelt around Ryan Webb
Not-
until he bit them?
Not a child, and it was a kind of a fight
While
in
he
a
was
car.
driving?
Yeah,
Okay, so he actually saved the car.
yeah, right. So
he
like
saved everybody.
he saved somebody by biting an adult.
Yes, that's exactly.
But it wasn't an
what he
adult.
did.
Like it needs to be spun the right way.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Anyways, I think I really screwed up right there. I don't know. I think he's put that forward.
He's
put
a
that
hero.
Out. Yeah, he's
a
right,
hero.
Right. So it is
Saving
what it
lives.
is.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
It's a left bite.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Randall McAllister, Richard Ivey. I reached out to Richard. He's one of the first politicians I talked to. Richard also didn't come on the show. He did whatever weirdness he did, and he contacted me like 2 days after it ended. Hey, hit me up. I've been trying to get a hold of you. No. This is the first time you messaged. I messaged your campaign people. They kept telling me they were going to get back to me. You didn't want to come on because he's friends with Dan, because he's friends with Tim, and they just chose not to come on.
He didn't come on because his bosses told him.
His bosses told him not to, and so I know I want Randall to win. He's probably not going to, but I want him to win.
And I
because
like Ivy. He is a nice. I love.
But he's too much into the. He's always been cool with me.
Yes.
But he's just too much involved in wanting to be in with the cool kids.
Oh.
The old
I
deputy
know
mayor.
him. I didn't. Okay.
And his brother was on the fire department.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all such nice people.
Yeah, they're all great. They're all yeah.
Brother was on the fire department.
He was a good one, not a bad
Yeah. That's
Fire
another.
department.
Yeah, right. For judge of the circuit court, 4, Zach is not. It's not challenged. So we get down to circuit court 5, and that's Ben Freeman or Tim Holmes. I do not want Freeman to win. Freeman is blah. I want Tim to win, and I don't know what's going to happen in there. It's going to be the Republican Party is pushing Freeman, but he's had a really weak campaign. It's very, very bizarre. Okay. Then is
Freeman the one that is the attorney for the mayor?
For the county and the mayor. Yeah. Mm-hmm,
yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we want the other one.
Yeah. Tim Holmes. The next race we get down to is assessor Sherry Chafin or Adam Cobalt. Adam Cobalt didn't come on. I'm not a fan of Jason Chafin, but I actually like Sherry. I'm okay. If Sherry wins, I'm okay. Adam doesn't have the certs that he needs, but he can get them. But why would you run for an office? Why wouldn't you go out and get the shit you need before you run?
It shows you're not proactive.
It shows you're not proactive.
Well,
so I got no problem with that.
Is it something that you have to be hired in the position?
No.
It's something that he could go out?
He could go get.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. And he's in that kind of, he's like in real estate and stuff, so it's very strange. Next, we come to Donald Chambers or Matt Kantz, commissioner.
I don't like the last name.
Chambers is my pick,
Okay.
but I think Kantz will get it.
Okay, you think Kantz will get it, but Chambers is your pick.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know.
I don't know these people, but I
don't.
don't like the last name Kant, so I'm going to go with Chambers.
It's like real negative.
I don't like it.
It's like she's voting or she's betting on the horses.
Yeah, right. Yes.
I like this
I
name.
picked them last night based on color, and then realized the whole time it was the course leading them in.
People?
No.
Oh God, I thought you were talking about candidates. Man, you heard it here. This is breaking news. She picked people by color. Were you talking about dogs?
The horses.
Horses?
And then
Okay.
did you hear she found out it was the lead horse that was leading them in?
The horse that was leading them in were all the pretty ones. The ugly ones were racing.
That's hilarious. That's amazing. Flanagan or David Williams, my man David Williams, I got to put up there. And David's working it. I want him to win, and I think he can win. So I'm going to go with,
Council, right?
yeah, District 1.
Mhm.
And then District 2 doesn't have anybody contested. District 3 doesn't have anyone contested. And then District 4 is Jim Mokel, Mr. Steak, or Ryan Webb.
Let's talk about Ryan Webb.
Yeah.
Should I tell my feelings on Webb from the beginning?
Yeah.
I know you're watching, Ryan, no offense.
He's probably not now, but he will be.
I could not stand him.
That's right, Kate.
I just couldn't. There was something, and it was that I was just like, ugh. But then I started watching and realizing that he wasn't really arrogant the way he was being funny. It's almost like he realized that the position of council, the things that were going on in council were so insane that the only way you can deal with that and combat it is to equally act that way because of how effed up.
Yeah.
Delaware
The
County
council
could use
is.
a sense
Yes.
of humor. They could use a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And so now he is hilarious. I absolutely giggle and giggle and giggle.
You sent him a video.
I
I sent a video to me because my name's Ryan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the female
Pertaining
version.
to
That's
him.
why they ask which Ryan
Yeah,
is this.
Yeah,
And so,
that was my entrance into
But
that.
then
Man.
Yeah.
That was how I figured out who
Yes.
he was.
and I remember him coming on your show. I think it was the first time that I actually like sat down and was like, okay, I'm going to give him a shot. I'm going to listen. And he knows it. He
Yeah.
knows he's definitely everything. Delaware County, love him or hate him, it is, you should be voting on someone for their skills and their ability to do the job or the willingness to learn to do the job. And I personally don't care if I love you, hate you. If you're qualified, I'm going to vote for you. And everything that I see about him,
Well,
that's what you need, Delaware County.
I'll tell you this.
You need somebody like Webb in there.
We've seen one on the council.
And you need more than just Webb like that in there. You need a majority.
David Williams. If Webb and
Yes.
David Williams was on there, it'd be good. Like if they had one more, it would really be good. Ryan Webb and Jim Mokel is a good guy. He's just very not engaged. He's not there to ask questions. Ryan is there to do the very best for the council. Now, you might not like that he's, in national politics, he's ultra conservative and he wants to have conversations and have debates and have arguments. And maybe he's just kind of taking the piss out of people and stuff and doing this and doing that. You just have to understand that you have to take him how he is and for what he is. And for a Delaware County councilor, I've had people who absolutely hate him and do not like him who say, if we were just talking about his time as a councilman, I would have no problem with him. And I'm like, okay, well, that's really all you need to be worrying about him. You block him and get rid of him if you don't like him for all of his national shit. But all he needs to be doing is the job of the councilman. You were talking about, there's nothing he's never done that's been inclusive. He's never hurt someone that's gay or never done something in this office. Now, he might say words you don't like, and he might not say, he might not feel this way, or he might love guns, or he might, whatever. He might love Trump, but that doesn't have anything to do on him answering questions and voting for the budget in the council. So that's where I am. I hope Ryan wins. I'm Team Ryan. And then
I hope I win too.
Can you guys do that? Like if he feels like he identifies as a
as
woman.
you can go in
say
from that
I'm
day.
the male
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're the male.
I'm
Yes.
the male Ryan.
Yes.
Yes.
Very manly
Webb, you need to talk to
features.
the new Ryan and you guys figure out how
Yes.
that's
I
gonna
have a
work.
lot of masculinity. over here.
Masculinity.
So much
Yes.
masculinity.
Yes. Really, honestly, the only thing that actually matters is the fact that Kristopher Bilbrey appears on the ballot in
That's not the only thing that is important, but there is
as a District 3.
a couple other big ones.
Who? What?
Coroner.
For Delaware County, right?
No, there's not. That's not happening. That's not right now. Because you're the coroner. There's no. So what do you
Yeah,
mean?
because Scotty's
That-
a D and
Yeah.
Evans
So we'll
an
talk about
R.
that in the
But we need to hype Scotty up. 'cause
gays
he
love
taking us
guns.
down
I see. I love it.
Is
love it.
definitely the better pick.
Who?
So
Scotty Hunt. Yeah.
Yes.
We can talk about that in the general. But yeah, Gavin doesn't have a Republican challenger.
Which sheriff?
Oh, Dunnick. No, I'm glad you said that. So
There's
Dunnick or
Dunnick.
Marcel?
Commissioner?
There's not on that side. We talked about commissioner.
Oh, yeah, we did.
There's no Democrat challenger.
There was a state rep race that we didn't mention.
For who?
State something.
Oh,
that
the
that
girl
Sarah
that has all the
lady.
kids.
The Sarah lady with like the 30 kids.
Is she contested?
Yeah, against some guy, but she's got like a ton. Like I'm not kidding.
A
at least, like,
Republican or a
15 kids.
Democrat?
Republicans.
Yeah, she's Republican.
And she really does have like I think it is like 15 children. And she shows up at the forums. It's Sarah Janice
With all of them?
Jones, Sarah Janice something. Sarah
Brown.
Janice
That's United States District.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You've got to vote for that. She's running against William Shreve. William Shreve is an idiot. I know. I've never talked to.
You gotta look into it.
Oh,
You
really?
should look
Okay.
into it.
Definitely.
She's kooky.
Oh, really?
She's real kooky.
Well-
like I'm gonna vote for Shreve.
Oh
I'm
God.
gonna
Shreve
vote for
is
Shreve.
Shreve is nuts, but
That's where I'm going.
they're all crazy.
I just wanted to talk about that.
that's at the federal level, which is okay. I mean, we can talk about all stuff.
No,
like that,
I
but-
just wanted. That's
I
all I
just-
needed.
yeah,
to say.
no,
Back
I'm-
to
okay,
Bilbrey.
I'm
How
glad.
dare you
it.
cut off the
Yeah, right.
most
I
important
cannot
candidate.
believe.
And she gets talking about two people that none of us know anything about.
Yes,
I know about
yes,
it.
Yes. No.
You didn't even know her last name.
I am running. That's District 3 state delegate. So for the people in District 3, there's only 5. I think the top 5. So
How many are running?
several. So let me see.
You don't even know who your opponents are?
No, it really.
Someone texted me about that Sarah girl and said she's crazy. She's a crazy girl.
I got to look into her. I don't know anything about her.
I think she's from Johnson County. I
Her
think he's from the
team
area.
reached out to me and wanted to know if I wanted to have her on. I just didn't have time.
Now, don't you
She-
wish she would have?
Do you remember
Yeah.
she wasn't mentioned at the Republican dinner and she stood up and was like, yoo-hoo!
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Excuse me.
11, 12, 13.
But at the Republican dinner, Sproles also was not
Hang on.
mentioned.
I'm getting a text saying that woman tried to start her own cult in Johnson County.
Oh my God.
She's super religious.
Is that your South family?
It's Cody.
Oh,
13. There's 13 people running. And I think the top 5 get it. But I'm in the top 3 names on the ballot.
Okay.
So chances are I'm feeling pretty good. And I have put it out, though, that if I don't get it, I want one of the other makeup spots in one of the other districts because they haven't filled them. So I'm sure I'll have to fight Tim on that, but we will deal with that at the time.
Oh, are you a Republican in good standing with him?
I'm a Republican in good standing. I don't know how, but
You're a Republican? I thought you were like a liberal Democrat.
no, you're an idiot. I'm like a right-leaning libertarian who votes Republican in the races around here.
I thought you were a hard left.
Yeah, I am very so hard left. I come back around right again.
Yeah, there you go. So you go all the way around.
Yeah, I'm a fascist, Nazi, communist.
So, sure.
Yeah, yes. And so,
Who do you think will win? You said you think you'll win?
will I get in the top 5?
Hey, do you think you'll get it?
Yeah, I think I'll probably get in the top 5.
What does everybody out there think?
I don't. I think he's going to get. How many are running?
13.
I think he's going to get 13.
Let me tell you who my opponents are. I'll tell you who my opponents are.
Wait, do you know any of them?
Oh yeah, I know all of them. What are you
Oh,
talking
okay.
about? You'll know all of them.
Oh, will it?
Yeah, Scott Alexander,
Well,
Michelle
okay.
Batters.
I don't know her.
She's what?
Oh.
Michelle Batters she's a person that used to work with Book Out. Okay.
David book out.
What?
When did David book out?
No, it's Book Out. What's Book Out? Bradley Book Out.
Okay.
Brad. He's been non-existent.
Stand up.
Daniel Castle, Ben Freeman, David Hanauer, Richard Ivey, Matt Kantz, Jessica Piper, Alan Wisely. So let me tell you how many of them are running. Then we'll know. All right. Jessica, Kantz, Richard, Freeman. I don't know. It's going to be close. I don't really know how many I win. If I don't win.
Wisely has all of the, because he's a Basham.
Oh,
person.
yeah.
Basham
He's a
board.
Republican Party person.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dana recently appointed him to the Board of Works. Oh, I do want to talk about that really quickly. If you guys didn't notice, Dan put out a communication today, on a Sunday, talking about the same announcement that they announced 2 weeks ago about the fact that the city is ending the crisis center. Weird. There is a Muncie City Council meeting tomorrow. Tomorrow's show will focus on the council meeting recap, and we'll talk about, it'll be Election Day Eve, so we'll talk about that. But
I like how he kind of played it off of, well, we're just running out of money. So that's why we're doing the crisis, like funds are limited and it's just, we had to make some tough decisions.
Yeah.
That was to me, I instantly thought, so Dan, the first people that you are disposable to you are the people in crisis.
Yeah,
literally the word crisis.
Yes.
And you're like, my edit funds, that's going to be the first thing that I do away with. I'm going to focus on, it just to me was a slap in the face for the community of trying to truly help people in need. And that was his first thing to go.
Ryan has my vote. When is she running? For what? What do you want her to run for?
Cody.
Also, gays loves guns. Hey, I love it. Come shooting. Well, I'm not gay, but I love guns and like gay people that love guns. So.
Okay, so sheriff, we're going to talk about Delaware County Sheriff.
Delaware County Sheriff. Well, it's not contested, but we can.
Yeah, I want to know your thoughts of who you like between Williams and Stanley.
Well, it's not we've got to. I haven't talked to one.
Totally.
Listen, I'm be honest. Right now, I'm a Stanley guy just because I know both of them personally. I've known them both for a very long time. I've worked with them both in law enforcement. I feel both of them are good guys. I feel like both of them know the job. I'm a Stanley guy at this moment. David could.
Is it because he's hot? Is that?
That's the reason I like it.
Because he's
Yeah,
pretty.
right. Mm-hmm. I got to tell you this funny story. Yeah, right. I got to tell you this funny story. So back in February, they were challenging whether Catherine Callahan was a Republican in good standing or not. And Catherine brought this kid to the event. Catherine's attorney was there and was testifying on her behalf. I was there testifying on her behalf. And this college kid was there testifying on her behalf. And they had the sheriff's department was there, and the two sheriff's department people that was there was Tony Skinner and Jeff Stanley. And so we go in, we're sitting down talking, and the kid that's there is like a first year kid he's like at IU, and he's going for law school, and he's going to be an attorney. And Jeff Stanley, I shouldn't probably tell this story.
You already
I
started
think you did it on the live.
You already started.
That
Did
day. I think that day because you had the Facebook Live. That's how I know. I can't remember exactly, but this story because you said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Jeff Stanley," and said whatever it was.
Jeff Stanley's funny. I like Jeff Stanley. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
I'll tell you. I can't talk about it. Yeah, I've disappointed people. I can't. It wasn't anything bad. It wasn't anything bad. I like Jeff's sense of humor. I like Jeff as a guy. Jeff's a guy's guy. There's people that don't like him. There are people who don't like him because he was a police officer. And there's a lot of people who's been around that don't like him for various reasons. David could win my support and something could happen. I just haven't talked to him. I didn't talk to him when he ran 4 years ago. But that's when the Democrats were real hard against me. I'm willing to talk to him. I want him to talk to him. I think he will this time in the fall. I will talk to him and I'll follow him. I have not listened to. I've been just in the mindset that after Skinner, Stanley would be the sheriff for.
You don't worry about who is going to be his number two. I'm worried
That
about the number
doesn't
two, like that.
Yeah, so that doesn't bother me as much. I'm talking about people who's number two is going to be. That doesn't bother me. I don't care about the whole. That's the reason for the people who want to talk about Nicholson. That shit don't bother me because to me the sheriff's the sheriff, and whatever the number two does, the sheriff gets the credit or the blame for. In my mind, so if you put somebody stupid in there,
to me it's about who you align your
Yeah, I mean that can be
character,
absolutely
the
sure. And so if there's somebody that's really crazy in there and does bad crazy, stuff that could be. And I'm definitely worried about. I have not talked to Stanley about the number two pick. I need to and find out if that's true. Because that's so far been a rumor. I have not heard. I've not talked to him directly about this. I would like to talk to him about that and find out. When Skinner announced Stanley, I was not upset with that pick. But I could. Who's rumored for his number two? Obviously you two have been on some bad terms because of life in the last several years. And I had always been on good terms with that guy. But we left off in bad terms here recently. Yeah. And so, maybe things are better now. Look, Nora and I are friendly. So maybe we could be friendly again too.
I
don't know.
hope she. Well, I don't want her to run for mayor because of who I know is running for mayor.
Oh, well, yeah.
But I'd like to see her do higher things,
Yeah.
greater things.
Well, we can see that. So, the last thing, I don't think I mentioned this. So just to really kind of wrap up here, I don't think I mentioned in the Democrat District 5 judge between Marcel Driscoll and Amanda Dunnick. And I'm going to be really honest. I've known Amanda Dunnick for a very long time. Personally, we've been on good terms. We've been on the outs. We've been on good terms, Ken. I like Amanda Dunnick as a person. I did not know anything about Marcel Driscoll at all before she interviewed. And I have been team Dunnick all the way. And especially if Holmes wins, it doesn't matter. Whatever happens, happens. But if Freeman wins, then I want Dunnick to beat Freeman or Marcel to beat Freeman, whatever. I just don't want Freeman to be the judge. That being said, when I did the interview with Marcel Driscoll, I was very impressed with a lot of what she said and done. And I got to be honest, it makes it hard now. As far as who I think will win, like who I want to win, I'm very up in the air because of how well she did in the interview. I think Dunnick is going to win. And if Dunnick wins that Democratic primary, I'll be okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'll say it like this. I guess I'll say it like this. I'll say it because just out of loyalty. And Marcel, I mean nothing by this, just out of loyalty. Sometimes that happens in politics. My loyalty is probably with Amanda. If Marcel wins, I would be okay with that because of her interview. Now,
see, that's me with Amanda. Like, she is very involved in the community. We talk about, I've been in meetings with her in the beginning stages of the crisis center.
Yeah.
She is very involved with drugs within the community. I like her.
Yeah. So, you have final thoughts here?
Vote Steve Duggar for Henry County Commissioner.
Steve Duggar for Henry County Commissioner, obviously.
I'm going to vote Steve Duggar for Henry County Commissioner.
Oh,
and
yes.
Delaware County
And I
Commissioner.
forgot about. Yeah, honestly, that's the thing.
I'm going to vote for Steve in everything.
Presidential campaign.
Steve Duggar, and I will say this. If his wife is running, I've actually heard there's been a couple people that said they would be willing to think about him running against Braun in a couple of years. So, Rhonda, get your
Don't hate us.
Yeah, get yourself
Steve
secure.
Duggar, future governor.
My grandparents
This is just the beginning.
love him. Every night I had a guest on, my grandparents would be like, "Is this guy like Steve Duggar? Is this?" I have like Ryan Webb on. They're like, "Is this guy like Steve Duggar?" I'm like, "No,
Not at all.
this guy is not like Steve Duggar. This is not a Steve Duggar guy." So I like Steve. Whether he wins or loses, he's going to win. I don't care. I don't know why I'm saying that. I want to have him. I almost selfishly maybe would like him to lose so I could just have him on and us talk about other stuff. Because if he's commissioner, I can still have him on.
But he has to be.
But he'll be like professional and stuff. So I will tell you. Well, I won't say that either. I like Steve. Steve is a very good, wholesome person. But I like the fact that he likes to sometimes be a witness to craziness. And so I can like craziness by proxy. And so I can appreciate Steve. I like Steve a lot. And look, I'm not bashing Chase Heinhold. I just think it's not the right reasons. He's not doing it for the right reasons right now. So that's
Maybe
where we are there. Huh?
Maybe in a few years.
Maybe in a couple of years, maybe.
And I was that way, but
That was
then
me in the beginning, was a
after
few years.
this is what I believe happened. Like we talked about, something kind of changed where he was very short with me. Introduced himself. This is the thing. If you don't like me, because I'm running a campaign, for your opponent, that's fine. But don't take the time to introduce yourself to me and then just not be real friendly when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Your father-in-law. in
Yeah.
action.
So
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
where, because I had even put in a Facebook post of, hey, obviously I have, I am supporting Steve because he is the stronger candidate.
Clearly, yeah.
However, I love it that younger people are getting involved.
Yeah.
And so, I hope, and I say it all the time, stay in it, because I would vote in the future. And now I don't know that I could.
Right.
Because that's it. Once Steve's done running, I absolutely would want to support, other people.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I could do it now.
Yeah. Well, I just know that BJ, his father-in-law, came up to me, BJ Chapman. And yes, I'm saying it backwards.
Yeah.
He knows.
I'm
Okay,
doing
he
that on
knows
Not his
purpose.
name. I've been calling him JP, so.
That's even better. JP, he came up and introduced himself to me, like really assuredly, like, "Hey, I'm BJ Chapman," and I was like, "Are you running for janitor?" And like, I don't know, like, yeah, I know who you are, dude, but I'm not going to tell you I know who you are. Like, I don't give a shit who you are. Why are you introducing yourself to me? That's just very strange. Like, why is Heinhold made no attempt? You try to win me over, try to change my mind. Don't be like, oh, he spoke badly about me and I hate him. Like, that's the whole thing I never understood. When Republicans won't go to events put on by Democrats, or Democrats won't go to events put on Republicans, if you can't go in and talk to people who disagree with you, how weak is your platform, your ideas, your principles? Or if you're like, I don't care what they have to say, like you could have to represent these people if you win. So you better get used to being able to talk with them. Or if you feel like you don't need to, then you shouldn't win. So I got a problem with that. So, all right. Well, is that it? Was it as bad as you thought it would be?
Doesn't bother me.
I can't believe it's 3 hours. I can't believe that. And on local races, platforms should be basically the same.
Yeah, I don't see the party being
because party's not a thing.
It's a very weird thing, especially in Henry County, because it's like, if you're not a Republican, you're not going to win. I don't see what that matters. The Democratic, yeah, except for
one of
mayor,
these
but I feel like
days,
Democratic candidates get lost because of it.
I know. I'm putting this out there right now, but and there's going to be people who be like, what? If Landon doesn't win in the primary, which I don't see that happening, or if he wins and he doesn't win in the general, what I would say is Landon should then vote Republican for the next two elections, vote Republican, and then in 4 years he should run as a Republican. That's my advice to Landon Dean.
Because if Bachhofer could do it.
Yeah.
If Bachhofer can
Bachhofer did it.
Yeah.
And,
Bachhofer was a Republican who then became a Democrat.
And didn't I hear that the Democrat board didn't even get the
Democrat board, apparently, his wife just made that okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a problem with that. Yeah, I got a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys for being the first person over here in this crazy studio. We're going to make it better for when this happens, but it was what it was. Lower the sign, figure stuff out, stop that dog from snoring.
No.
No, it's great. I love it.
I mean, it drives me insane. It's funny. She's right underneath Brian's feet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She loves me.
Oh, yeah.
No
she's
loyalty
good.
to you.
Well, just because I'm not someplace where I could be touching her the whole time. If she was right here, she'd be just fine.
She came up here.
I had it set to where she was sitting here and you guys were sitting there.
I know.
But
she was snoring right here.
Yeah.
That
that was bad. Yeah. Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We will see you back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. It'll be a quick meeting tomorrow, but an important meeting. I got some thoughts. So you guys take care. Good night. God bless. And I like the dog's idea of fun. Yeah, right. It's great. All right. Good night. Goodbye.